Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Battleground Games Live.
Andy, if
Hi
you
there.
can hear me.
Welcome to the
right now,
Loft at Battleground Games
give
and
me a
Hobbies in
sign.
Abington, Massachusetts, and another fun game that we have never played before. We're missing a couple players,
Yeah,
but they'll be here momentarily. My name is Andrew. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
And
I'm Amanda.
That's
Hi,
a fun
I'm
quiz.
usually here.
we usually have a few things we have to cover before we get to the main event anyways. So
let's go ahead and do
yeah,
that.
let's do a little bit of that. So right down there, right below us there,
They made a
we
twist
have an
on,
important addition that we've just put into our stream because it is only a little bit more than a month until the next Extra
When
Life
you
Marathon.
point, it
Yeah.
looks like you're pointing down under the table.
It's right there.
It doesn't quite feel.
back in a
It's
second.
it's like
right,
right
time to
in
play.
here,
Yeah.
not down
Close.
under the table, in
They-
front of
they
us,
know what I
down
meant.
below us. No,
Pardon me. Sorry.
you're pointing down, right towards these guys. These guys have nothing to do with Extra Life.
I could
What
see
does have
somebody
to do
playing
with
with them
Extra
on
Life
Extra
is the
Life.
fact that it's just over a month away.
It is just over a month
Which
away.
is
35 days to go. I have set us a ridiculously high goal for
Why
today.
would you do that to us?
John, did you have your microphone off or was it on while you're down
I
there?
think it was on.
Okay, so we were listening to you. We were probably broadcasting you buying a soda.
Oh, are we live?
Everything's
We are live. Have a seat,
Oh
John.
my goodness. Sorry, everyone.
So
So introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. It's John Toomey. How's it going? Stuffed Fables. Pretty fun game.
Yep.
Haven't gotten to play it yet.
We haven't gotten to that though because we're talking about Extra Life.
Extra
the 25-hour gaming marathon.
it's gonna be a thing. So we have some stuff planned. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna try not to play games that take forever, because that just slows everything down. And when you're up at 3 in the morning, the last thing you want to do is slow anything down.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and keep things moving. We're gonna see, see if folks want to sort of sign up for a game slot while they're in the store. And sort of say, yeah, I'm up for playing something in like an hour, so that we don't have dead time.
So the last Extra Life we had was actually John's introduction to the stream.
Yeah.
Because John ended up being up here in the loft
It's like
For
our
about-
MVP.
5 hours.
at least.
Yeah, for a large chunk of time.
And that was amazing.
Yeah.
that was very
that, it kind of like, I don't know, the stream
like-
started taking off a little
Yeah, it's like old hat now for you.
bit. Yeah.
You've been doing it
1
for a
year
while.
anniversary.
So we are going to
know,
be
right?
playing some games. We're going to be doing some
Oh,
stuff. We do have some stuff lined up for a raffle. So that's a thing that happens. One of the things that we're going to be offering is something that I made sure could happen tonight, though I don't have my hands on it yet, which is that I will be painting the figures for a copy of the Fallout board game.
The Fantasy Flight Fallout
The
board
Fantasy
game.
Flight Fallout board game. I'm going to get myself a second copy of it because mine is already painted. And I'm going to be painting up the figures and raffling off the whole game, not just the figures, so you don't have to already own the game. You'll get the whole game if you win that one, including fully painted figures for it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. When we were demoing it at PAX, because we demoed that game
I demoed that game
so much
so
at PAX East this last year, but when we
I had
demoed
a
that
ton
at
of fun with
PAX, we were demoing your copy. And people were like, "Oh, I didn't realize the figures were this cool." And we're like, "Sorry,
painted
yeah,
those.
they come unpainted, and Amanda painted those."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you would like to get your hands on a copy with painted figures, that's a thing we'll be raffling off during Extra Life here in the store.
Yeah,
So-
we're going to be having a few tweaks to the way that we handled raffles. We tried last year to get raffle tickets in for people who were in the stream. Hola, Travis! We tried last year to do giveaways to people in the stream through the raffles, and it didn't work terribly well We did have some people who entered the raffles. I don't think anybody in stream won anything, which was kind of sad. And it was mostly a coordination issue.
Yeah,
we didn't
we'll
have the
figure something
automation
out.
to make it work. But with Chatbot, our new buddy Chatbot,
Yeah.
Battleground Bot, does allow us to do giveaways in stream.
Ooh.
So we will be doing periodic giveaways during the Extra Life Marathon. Not based on totals or, maybe triggered by hitting certain benchmarks.
Yeah.
But I think we're also going to have them locked in on a certain time so people know when to tune in.
Yeah.
So folks can be online, ready for those giveaways, and you'll enter in whatever code phrase and get entered into that giveaway,
Yep.
and then we'll do a raffle drawing. And it'll mostly be books, because books are cheap to ship.
Yeah, you
Magic
can send
cards.
those
That's
easy.
pretty fair.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Steven!
Twilight.
Sire!
So
Oh, Cat's here too.
the other thing we wanted to mention is that finally, Wasteland Warfare has arrived.
Yep.
It's got a big old book and a big old box.
It's a pretty nice looking box. Hey! Thank you for the bits.
With
I don't know, Travis.
Matt.
Would the real Travis be able to give a single birthday bit? Wait, he would.
And
Ooh.
this box has a lot. And
Yeah.
It's making me real happy.
So the thing about the Fallout board game is that it is very adaptable. It has a variety of play modes.
Yeah.
You can play it as a 1v1 miniature
Got
war
my
game.
My little alien, my Martian,
Yep, that's the pre-order bonus.
and
Do you want me to show off Deathclaw
yeah,
on?
the Death Claw.
Let's go to Zoom cam.
There's the Death Claw and the alien.
And I hear somebody on the stairs, which is probably our third player. Or
Fourth player.
I can count.
Surprise, fourth player.
So here
yeah.
is the Deathclaw. Look at that. Wait until that is painted. It's going to be amazing.
I cannot wait.
I've been doing military,
Cannot.
believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Derek, we are online.
Oh, okay, cool.
We are streaming. Oop,
Yeah,
Yep.
we are
bits.
live.
I'll try to
Yeah.
myself without scratching.
So we have like the gray pieces are the basically just the
The good guys.
the good guys, and they're sort of the settlers and just people that you meet in
And the
wasteland.
survivor, who is Nora.
And the survivor and dog meat. Get your little dog meat here.
Yep.
My sad dog meat story.
Oh
Yeah, Derek
man.
has a sad dog meat story from Fallout 4.
Wait until you're mic'd and turned on
And
before
then
we get
you've
to
got
sad
some
dog
super
meat.
mutants and super mutant hounds, and they've all got different armor and different weapons and stuff. You've got your big Deathclaw, you've got your Martian. So I'm really excited about all of that. I'm excited to dig into the rules and get to play. So I'm going to be painting those up, but I want to paint up the
Derek, why don't you
Fallout
scooch back this
game
way a little bit?
first. Because it's not painted.
There, that's good.
We got it on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, and it has been a very busy
yesterday.
week.
Yeah, it's been, or actually we got it Wednesday.
Yeah, we got it Wednesday.
It's been a busy week. Andy and I had a bit of a mishap with an air conditioner in our apartment. So
Oh no.
yeah, everything's fine now.
But we did have to make a trip to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, there was a,
Be careful of that Beyond section.
yeah, you just want to watch out. Make sure you don't end up staying there forever. Anyway, yeah, so this is the 2-player starter set. It's the box
cool.
set for 2 players. Comes with everything you need. Do be aware some of the 2-player starter sets got shipped with some misprinted dice, ours among them. But Modifius has a contact thing up. So you can
Contact
get 'em.
support at
So-
modifius.com,
Yes,
I think.
if you got a hold of a Wasteland Warfare 2-player starter set, check your dice. The blue dice should only have like Nuka-Colas, stars, and explosions
Correct.
on them.
Yeah, if they have
if
other
they
symbols,
don't,
they've got the same stuff as the green dice, and they're
then
wrong.
yeah, they're basically blue dice printed with the green dice symbols. But yeah, they
So unless we all do it.
Steven, yes, it's possible, as you well know.
But yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm gonna basically get Derek.
So,
to play
Steven,
this
are
with
you
me.
asking about Derek losing the Fallout game, or Derek losing?
He wants me to lose
This
this
game.
game live so he can humiliate me later about it. So.
It's a
Sounds
co-op
about right.
game, so if you lose, we all lose.
Yeah,
It's
there you
going to
go.
be pretty hard to lose.
I'm not throwing this game just to make Derek lose.
Would you throw this game if Steven gave hundreds of bits?
Yeah.
There's a threshold that would have to be hit, and I'm not telling you how much it is ahead of time.
All of the above. All
I'll
right.
just play really badly, Steven. How's
Derek,
that?
you missed
That's
my.
amazing because you're the leader, by the
You are.
way.
Oh, okay, I'm the leader.
Yes.
We all
Shall we
chose
introduce our characters, or?
Yes, go on ahead.
Okay. So we're not going to talk a lot about the rules of this game. We're going to figure it out as we go. We are
It had
playing.
nothing to do with the bits.
If anyone watched our previous stream on Mice and Mystics,
Yeah, which unfortunately appears to be lost to the sands of time.
Oh,
Mice and
really?
Mystics, I think, is gone.
even on
We'll have to
Twitch?
play it again. The VOD mites will be up on Twitch in 4 separate parts.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems that we lost internet a number of times during that stream.
Which is a real bummer because we did pretty well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was pretty good. But essentially, this is a reworked and revamped in the best kinds of way Mice and Mystics game, in my opinion.
And simplified.
Concept.
Yeah.
It's simplified, but it's also got a lot more variety. Because in Mice and Mystics, it's a straight playthrough. Oh,
No, that was someone's phone downstairs.
okay.
Okay. Somebody's phone has as their notification sound the noise of bits.
But with
It's
this
very
one,
disturbing.
You have some branching paths, which is a lot of fun. Also, they fixed the issue of all those spare pieces that you need to make up the board.
Yeah, the
Now
map
it's
is
just
actually in the book.
all here.
So we'll get to that in a couple of moments. Before we get to that, Amanda,
Yeah.
I gave you the bookmark, which makes you the bookkeeper, which
So
means
you
you
have
do
the
story
storytelling.
time. So if you want to read
I have-
where it says on here,
Hundreds of bookmarks at work, and not just the ones that we give out. I have accumulated. People leave bookmarks in books all the time, and usually, if we're lucky, they're actual bookmarks.
it's better than dog-earing the pages.
Yes, it
Used
is.
tissues, pieces of bacon.
Oh, a note for you folks.
Someone used an already opened packet of coconut oil.
I forgot to
a
mention
waste
this
of
before we
coconut
got
oil.
started. Twitch has made some changes to the way that you tag streams.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So I went through the tag list and tried to pick tags that were appropriate. They don't have a lot of stuff that's board game appropriate, but they do have a family-friendly tag. So this stream is tagged as family-friendly. So, and especially with this game, let's try to keep it
Keep
family-friendly.
it family friendly.
I think
I
we've
think we
done
can-
it fairly well.
Yeah, you're good at that, John.
Thank you.
Steven, you hear that? Family friendly.
Family friendly.
I just want to point out that I'm family friendly, like most
For
of
work?
my work.
Yeah.
day.
Come on.
I
This is
sort of look forward to not having to be quite as cautious about my language when I'm not getting paid.
we rarely slip
I'll take
up.
that tag off when we're doing next month, which is all scary games.
That's
Oh
good.
yes.
That's
Oh,
real good.
and I am excited for that.
Where is my picture of that horrible, sad book with the coconut oil in it?
Let's not
find
do
it
sad books
eventually.
with coconut oil.
Yeah,
Amanda, you have-
someone made a book real greasy. It
You
was
have
very
some
sad.
experience reading stories.
A little.
Some. Should we hold the book upside down for you to make it more?
It's a challenge.
Come on. No.
I could do that. I mean, but I only really do that when I have to hold the book like this and say,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mommy and Daddy exchanged nervous glances as they watched their little girl climb into her new big girl bed.
So this chapter is entitled "The Big
The
Girl
big
Bed."
Yep.
It was a beautiful bed of purple and blue with a fancy headboard, and the little girl had fallen in love with it the moment she first saw it. They had brought it home in a big box, and Daddy spent the afternoon in the garage assembling it. She had napped in it a couple times already, but this was the first night it would replace her crib.
We need to
Mommy
set up the
cried a
sleep
little
deck.
that day when Daddy took the crib apart. The little girl felt strangely sad too when she watched Daddy pack the crib away in the attic. But she was a big girl now, and this was a big girl's bed. Her parents tucked her in, and Daddy stroked her hair while Mommy, with a lump in her throat, sang a sweet bedtime song. When they tiptoed away, they left the bedroom door cracked open, and inside the room, everything grew still. The little girl's breathing slowed. The kitty clock on the wall tick-tocked, tick-tock. One by one, all of the lights in the house went out, and soon, Mommy and Daddy were in bed. Tick-tock. Theodora Stuffins sat up in the new big girl bed and, giving a stretch, marveled at her surroundings. By the way, that's you, Derek.
Yes, you are Theodora Stuffins.
Steven's challenging the censors.
Yes, I see. Censored.
What had happened to the crib? She rubbed her glass eyes. I expect you to be acting this out, Derek. Yeah. And leaned over to make sure the little girl slept soundly. "Where are we, Thea?" asked a droopy voice.
Is that me? Is that Lumpy?
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely the voice I'm going
Where
with.
did all the bars go? Lumpy, the stuffed elephant, looked around with anxious concern. "I don't know, Lump," said Theodora. "It was like this when I woke up." "I'm scared," Lumpy whispered. Flops landed between the two of them with a giggle, her long ears flying all around. "I like it," Flops declared. "It's nice and bouncy." "Flops," hissed Theodora. "Knock off all the jumping. You know better." "So it has happened at last," said Stitch. They turned to see the frayed old-timer hobble towards them. Stitch had already served under the girl's mother during her growing years. He had a limp and mismatched button eyes, but the others dearly loved the wise old doll. "What has happened, Mr. Stitch?" asked Theodora. "This is it," said Stitch. "This is what we signed up for. Before now we were merely companions, our young charge protected by the magic of her crib. But tonight she sleeps in a big girl bed, and so at last our service begins in true. He will come for her, and we will protect her." "Who will come, Mr. Stitch?" "Crepitus, the Nightmare King. He will send his minions for this sweet child, and only we will be able to protect her." The very thought of it made the old doll puff up his chest in pride. "Crepitus," wondered Theodora. "I didn't think he was real." "Could we pay someone else to do it?" whispered Lumpy. "Much safer that way." "I think it might be wise," Stitch suggested, "to split up and search the house for provisions. Thea?" "I trust your advice on this, Mr. Stitch," said Theodora. "Let's do it." Now we have to gather the discovery cards for this story, and without looking at them, place them in a face-down stack near the play area. And in this story, Piggle and Lionel are not available yet to play. It says, Stitch has a fable, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Everybody on the back of the book has like a full backstory.
Oh, on the back of your card?
On the back of the book.
Oh, on the back
I
of
see.
the book.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Theodora, or Thea,
Yes.
it's Derek, is special because she does so much to ease her little girl's fears at night. The girl has selected Thea to be the one she snuggles when she slumbers, which is a terrific honor that Thea does not take for granted. Lumpy
Yes.
listens to the little girl when she is blue. He's an excellent listener, and the girl often whispers secrets into his elephant ears. Some might find that stressful, but Lumpy believes that when you speak about your fears, they have less power over you. Flops. That's me. When the little girl is feeling silly and playful, she turns to Flops. The bunny's ears are so long and flouncy that a toss of them can send the girl into fits of giggles. Flops is also quick to laugh and seeks to find humor in every situation. And Stitch. Stitch is an heirloomer, a handmade sock doll passed down a couple of generations. In the little girl's eyes, Stitch is a lot like her grandpa, kind, wise, and able to grouch while giving you a wink at the same time.
And we each have a special
Yeah.
ability,
Stitch,
Yes.
or several special
Stitch
abilities.
has like a little story in the sidebar.
Oh, yeah. There's two
Yeah,
of
the
them.
contented caterpillar. A little green caterpillar loved eating upon his green leaf so much that when his friends all began to change into chrysalises, he declined, saying, "I don't care for change, and so will just sit here, eating my green leaf." But when his friends became butterflies and flew away, the little caterpillar grew lonely, and when the butterflies returned several days later, they each had an amazing story to tell about their adventures in the wide world. I see now what I have missed by avoiding change, said the caterpillar sadly. I have loved my leaf, but I have missed out on even greater happiness. Wow, okay, yeah, that's...
Not like
Gee,
the very
I wonder,
hungry caterpillar
I
at
wonder
all.
what that means.
So yes, now we turn the page, and I'm going to go to overhead cam. John, if you want to move the instructions out of the way because they're sort of on camera. There we go.
Camera.
So yeah, there are two other playable characters, Lionel and Piggy.
So I'm
But they
afraid
are not available
this
just yet.
white area is very washed out.
Oh yeah, but
But
they don't
hopefully
need to see
they
that.
can see the map here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to show up on
I
the
can,
camera.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can see the bed.
So this
We can
is...
can't see
turn
the
this.
grid.
This is more readable from this direction.
No,
Or leave it like
it's
that?
upside up for the...
Yeah, so
The stream.
Oh, for the stream. Okay.
So the way we do it is we just look through the entire thing. Well, we look through the first chapter and then we see whether or not we read the next part.
Okay,
So 5-1.
yes.
The
The
bookkeeper.
bookkeeper reads the following. So, or any of us could read it. It's a very short paragraph here.
One by one, the
The stuffies?
One by one, the stuffies slide off the bed and tiptoe out onto the out of the room, being careful not to make a sound. But as they moved through the dark house, an ominous purple glow began to form underneath the big girl bed, and from out of that the glow came long spidery legs.
Uh-oh.
Gear up. Each player looks through the item deck for a weapon card of her choice, with the keyword kitchen or study, and then they may equip it. I'm going to recommend.
So this is the weapon deck here. Or the gear.
No.
No?
These are the enemies.
Oh, those are the enemies.
Because they've
Sorry.
got gears and stuff,
This
so they're all
will be
mechanical.
where we can
Ah,
find
lovely.
weapons.
Okay.
So I recommend for flops,
Yeah.
ranged weapons,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and for
My
Theodora,
my
melee.
ability
Sword would be
is
hot.
I'm agile. I can re-roll one or more green dice and keep my second roll result. I have dodge, leap, and perfect agility.
Which you
Use this
need
ability-
hearts for.
Yeah, use this ability instead of performing a green skill test for flops and automatically pass that test.
Study.
I'm tough. Use this ability after rolling dice for Lumpy. You may re-roll one or more blue dice. You must keep your second roll. And I have Protect, Reinforced Stitching, and Defensive Strike.
Nice. Derek?
So this right here is the.
That's your ability you always have access to. The other three you need hearts to use.
Okay.
So this is the one you have right now.
So once per turn, when taking a turn with Theodora, you may swap one of your attribute dice for an attribute die in the discard pool.
Ooh.
And then I have resourcefulness, persevere, and words of motivation.
So the mechanics of this game... Well, go ahead, John. Sorry.
That's cool. As Stitch, I am insightful. Use this ability to re-roll after rolling with Stitch. I may re-roll one yellow die, one or more yellow dice, and I can keep the second result. So, as you can probably tell, color is a very important thing with this game. Yellow dice are used for searching.
Actually, I gave everybody a reminder card.
Green dice are range attacks. Red are melee attacks.
Where are the dice?
They
they're
are in a
this
bag.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't see them.
Oh yeah.
So this game is, if anybody has played Dice Masters games, a very similar, familiar mechanic, which is that your dice are all in this bag. During your turn, you're going to draw some dice out, and based on those dice, it determines what you can do with your character. And we'll
Okay.
cover all of that as we play.
Did you
So,
draw these cards?
These are the 12 cards that we have access to. Kitchen cards and study cards.
Okay.
So, everyone
my
can have
figure
one
has a
weapon.
mallet. Can I have Lumpy's mallet?
The meat mallet.
I have a meat mallet.
Now, as you'll notice, there are certain symbols on the cards. You can only
gonna
have
show this
one
on
of each
Zoom
symbol.
cam.
So, one paw, one head, and one pocket, and there might be one that's also another hand.
So here's my meat mallet.
But we have
This
rubber
is what he's
bands.
I feel
talking
like
about with the
rubber bands
paws.
or old number 2 would be good for me.
And
Choose range.
I get +1 on red dice. I am really good in close combat. my meat mallet.
Alright, scissors, a letter opener, kitchen knife.
Or the cleaver. God.
There's a lot of options.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, the rubber bands, a pencil, and then a cleaver.
Do we know what this plus means?
Dice roll. So, like,
It actually says it right under there.
Yeah.
Oh, that applies to what's written there? Okay.
Add 2 to the red die result. So
That's
you can
pretty
make a 6 into an 8.
I'll go with the scissors.
I
Powerful.
think I'm going to take old
That's
number
fair.
2.
Roll number 2.
Because that, like, adds to both yellow and green, so.
So I've got to go with either the meat cleaver, but I'm going to go with range. So I'm going to go with the rubber bands.
Okay, so the rest of these go back into the deck.
Go back into the deck and will be shuffled, and we could possibly get these in the future.
Go to section 5.2. Freshly provisioned, the Stuffies return to the little girl's bedroom. But as they push the door open, a frightening scene was revealed to them. Scuttling around the room were minions with a multitude of spidery legs. And yet these were no spiders. Their bodies were as large as house cats, and they made their home in the heads of old baby dolls. They're super creepy.
Yeah, these are
These
really
are-
unsettling.
This is like that thing from
This
Toy
is
Story.
this is basically like what Sid makes
Yes.
in Toy
We
Story.
can show them off on Zoom.
Yeah,
Sure.
Here.
While I show it off on Zoom, Amanda, why don't you continue
One of-
reading 5.2
One of the things
here.
that I really like about this is that even though you have identical enemies, they have different shaped bases.
Yes.
So you can tell which one is which I really appreciate.
Pretty good.
So this is one of the crawlies.
Leader will be the
Super creepy.
So
We need 4 of these out. Bam. Bam.
Crawly,
am I
crawly,
reading
crawly, crawly.
This?
Yes, I just read that portion.
Okay.
The crawlies have come early.
The crawlies have come early, gasped Stitch. Look at that light, exclaimed Theodora, pointing at the eerie purple glow. They're coming from under the bed.
Monsters under the bed.
Gee, shocking.
Okay. Setup. Grab a number of crawly figures and their cards equal to the number of stuffies in play. Place any one crawly onto the space on the bed marked with a gear.
So that is this one.
Yep.
And I believe the rules are that
And place the other crawlies on spaces adjacent to that crawly. Adjacent in this game is orthogonally or diagonally.
Yes.
It does not. Any of the 8 spaces around a thing are adjacent. Place the crawly cards face up in a column next to the sideboard. Each player places their stuffy figure on or adjacent to the spaces marked with the paws.
So we start here.
I feel like I should
be in the front because
yes,
I've
someone
got a big mallet.
not me should be like I should be in the back somewhere.
I'll go range here. And Derek,
Yeah.
where would you like to be?
I'd like to be up front somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Important note, there are several green lines here.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the bed.
When you are moving, you can move as far as your
Die roll is.
die roll, but in order to cross a green line, you have to use a green die or purple die. Purples are
Steve
wild.
has a note for you, Derek.
And then they have QR codes for us to look at, learn to place, but we're learning to play it ourselves. So, starting with the bookkeeper and proceeding to the left, players will take turns until all the crawlies have been defeated or all the stuffies have collapsed. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Collapse
I don't want
means
that to
we
happen.
all lose our stuffing. However,
Yeah.
there are ways to get our stuffing back.
Yep, at the beginning of every turn, you'll get some stuffing back, maybe.
Also, other players can give each other stuffing.
If at the end of any player's turn, the threat track has a number of dice on it equal to the number of crawlies, this is the threat track here,
They activate.
yeah, then they take a turn.
And based on
The crawlies will take a turn.
Do we know which one of these corresponds with which miniature?
yeah, that's the cool thing. They're bases.
Yeah, how do you...
shape.
Right there is the...
Oh, there it is. Okay.
that's-
Yep.
Did you just deal these out randomly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
When all the minions have been defeated, each stuffy gains 1 heart.
Which is good. And then we'll continue on with the story.
Go to
Unless
section 5.3.
something terrible happens and
Which, you know.
the girl... basically, here's what happens when a stuffy falls. We'll draw a sleep card, because if the girl could possibly get stirred or be sleeping or wake up, which changes the story as you play.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, how many dice does Amanda draw?
5.
Amanda,
Hi.
draw 5 dice.
Randomly.
Oh, and I'll put the camera. Here we are.
1,
It's Amanda's
2,
turn.
3, 4, 5.
What you got?
Okay, you got 2 threat dice.
All right, so black dice are going to go over here.
So they just sit out here.
2.
Now.
And those are your 3 things you can use for the attack.
Right, and there's a bunch of different actions you can take. You can move, which uses any die. Remember, if you want to cross a green line, you have to use a green die to move there. You can attack, which uses line of sight. You can't see through green lines, I think. You can see around them, but not through them.
I think it was, yeah, that.
So you can move, attack, you can search. And the yellow die is particularly good for searching.
And that is signified by, I think.
It should be on the map. It should say search somewhere.
There doesn't seem to be a search on this one.
Okay, so there's nothing to search for in this area.
Yep. Weapon is useless.
Blue is a unique action which is defined by the area. So you'll probably use your blue and green dice to move.
Yeah.
Blue, I
Well,
recommend.
green is my attack because I have a
Oh, yeah.
ranged attack.
So you could roll your blue die to move and then
Yeah.
use a ranged attack. What's the range on old number 2?
Old
Here's
number
something-
2 has a ranged weapon of 3.
Okay.
Something else to keep in mind, though. If you don't think you can use a die, you can
Bank it.
save it on your card.
Okay.
That's the only way you can defend yourself if you're attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, banking dice
Yellow
is super useful.
Is searching, but
Yellow's
there's not
search.
specifically something to search for,
Nope.
Right.
right? So I'm gonna use that to move.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on ahead. 1.
1.
Great.
Useless.
All right, that's 1.
Now, I should have said this earlier, but anytime that you're doing a move, attack, or a search, you can roll multiple of the same color die.
Yeah.
So
I only
you
have
don't
one.
have, you only have one of each. So you could move with the blue die and then see if you can get close enough to shoot with the green die.
That is
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and do that.
You also have the ability, I don't know if this is listed, here we are, player's turn. Draw dice, find stuffing. If you had drawn a white die, you
both
get
got
stuffing.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Place
threat.
threat, which we did.
Yep.
And then performing actions. Move, reserve, encourage, which is giving dice to other people.
Which is good.
Skill test, which is defined by the story. Group
tasks.
tasks, which are defined by the story.
You got
Well, that's a 6. So
Ooh, nice. That's a good move.
Attack and search, which are the last ones.
So my range is 3. So
Yeah.
I should be able to hit that from here.
I would
Depends
agree.
on what you roll, because you still have to roll to hit.
But like I'm
range is
within range
Yeah.
of it.
You are within range.
My point being I don't have to move closer in order to attack with
No,
my
you should
weapon.
be good.
Right. It is a this with the
5.
5. Where is its defense? Oh, 5 is its defense. Okay, so you need to roll a 5 or a 6 in order to vanquish it.
Does your ability help here at all, or is that?
Oh, yeah, she gets to
Yeah, I get to well for one I add 1 because of my weapon
Correct.
to it. And I can re-roll 1 or more green dice, but I have to keep my second roll.
Right.
Yep. 5.
5
That's a 5.
plus 1.
6.
That Crawley is vanquished.
All right.
Kapow!
Which one was that?
It's the bottom one here.
Okay.
Now, something happens when you defeat a Crawley. You get a button, I believe.
Yes.
Hit a button.
Buttons are
aren't toys.
currency. Yes, they are not toys. They are currency that we can use to purchase stuff.
Yep.
Is
And-
buttons aren't toys an obscure ref at
I
this
don't.
point?
I feel like maybe it is. So we
all
should
these
keep
dice
track
go
of
back?
what's in the. All of them?
They go back.
I thought those stayed out.
Not based on.
You discard the dice that you used, but
Nothing happens.
the threat dice stay out.
1 second. Threat. Place all threat on the threat track starting at the top. Group task. Check threat. If there's minions in play, the number of dice is equal or exceeds the number of minions take a turn. If there are no minions in play, the dice on the threat track equal or exceeds the number. Resolve the list below in order. Surge, discard all dice from the threat track.
But that's only after the minions have attacked. That's the last step in the minion surge.
Hold on. So, after check threat step and
See,
possible...
this is what I say, chat. This stream is all about us learning how to play games, not necessarily us being excellent at them.
I'm fine with that then.
Yeah, so let's leave those two threat out.
Okay. And we put these rest in the matter.
Yep, these are in the discard. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And now it is John's turn. Or I should say Stitch's turn.
Okay.
I didn't. That light was getting a little intense in my eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Threat!
Threat.
Threat level 3.
Stuffing.
Alright, so what happens? You've got 2 stuffing,
Yeah,
so
2
take
stuffing.
your 2 stuffing.
Boom. There you go.
That's always the straight trade.
Place threat. Okay, so you check threat at the end of your turn. So perform actions. What have you got, John?
So I've got 2 dice to have access to then. So
You have a blue and a purple. The purple is wild.
Yep, they can be used for any color.
Important to note with regards to our weapons that give bonuses, they do not give bonus to purple dice.
Nope.
So you can use a purple die to attack with, but you're
But
not
if,
going
like
to add
if
anything
I
to
hadn't
it.
had a green,
Rolling.
but I had had a purple, like use the purple as a green, but I wouldn't get my
1.
bonus
Well,
from my weapon.
I'm storing that die, and now the threat activates.
Okay, so what happens when threat activates, John?
So when the threat is active, the minions are going to take a turn, based in their minion order. So, da-da-da-da. Take a turn. See page 12. Here we go. Minion activation. Starting with the minion at the top of the minion column, activate 1 at a time. Each minion in place has been activated. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Roll. Take a die off the threat track and roll it. Then match the number of the results to an action on the minion card. 5.
5. 4 to 6 is clickety. Moves 3, does 1 range, attack of 4 within 1 range.
Okay, so it moves 3, and this is the circle one?
No, it's this one here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Unfortunately, that reaches Amanda,
No.
so it does 4 damage to you, Amanda.
That's more stuff.
What happened? I sort of missed. What happened that triggered their move?
There were 3 threat dice, and there are
As soon as
3...
that track fills up.
Yep, that's when they surge. Okay, so after that, this one goes?
It should.
Like we use all of them?
We use all of them. They're all going to go 1.
1. Rush. Move 6 and do 4 damage within 1 space.
Okay, and that is.
He's going to go to
circle
the
one?
nearest one.
So what is that position at?
I mean,
Which
it moves,
one is that?
that's circle.
Circle. So straight forward, or do we go for flex again?
It'd be me. I'm out.
So 4 damage.
4 damage.
That's
Okay.
it. I'm out.
Okay, so you're
Collapse.
collapsed, but that's not the end for you.
Let me see.
This seems like a lot.
And this one goes 1, so it's another rush. 6 and 3 damage.
Okay, how do we want to...
That'd be the one right in front of it, I'm sure.
You're the bookkeeper, so you get to decide which one it attacks.
Yeah, I have a die to defend.
Then yeah, have it attack you.
Alright, so it does 3 damage minus 2.
Minus
So
2.
one.
So you take 1.
Okay.
And because your die did not eliminate all damage, you lose that die.
Okay.
So that it goes in the discard.
Oh, there you
Anything further in the surge?
go. Let me see.
Hey, Pie.
Insidious Pie?
How's it going?
Hello!
Hi. Minion turn. Move. Facing Stuffy that does not move.
How you
Otherwise,
doing?
turn to me and move Stuffy. Penalty.
This is an exceptionally cute game. And
It's disgusting.
Discard threat.
And murderous. At the same time.
And discard threat. We're done.
okay, we're done with the surge. Alright. And now it is
Theodora.
Theodora's turn.
All right, and I'm choosing a number of die.
You take
based
5
on-
dice.
It's always 5.
Yep.
I think it's based on the number of players.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
It has been a rough week. You are right.
Yeah, rough week.
I
got
don't
some
know
stuffing.
anyone who hasn't
Yeah,
had a
so that
rough
comes
week.
in the
I think
file
it's
over
just
here.
been
No.
crud for everyone.
All right.
Crud
No
all
threat.
around.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Sorry,
John,
I had a rough week, friend.
I think Derek
glad this
should
is helping.
assist Amanda.
It's
Yeah, give her some
super
stuffing.
adorable.
Okay.
You literally take it off your character and you can give it to Amanda, which is pretty good.
That is considered encouraging. Do you have to roll a die or anything to do it?
Double checking. Yeah. Hearts, button.
And do I have to be next to the person?
You do need to be next to them, yes.
Do you?
know that.
I don't recall that.
I believe that much. That's group
See, I read through these instructions while I was at work today, and I was
Encourage.
distracted a number of times.
Store one of your.
I'm so sorry. I'm
You
yawning
must
so much.
discard
I'm
one
really
die of
tired.
any color and give that stuffy one stuffing. So you have to trade a die to be able to give them the stuffing.
Okay. So you have
Do I need
a...
to be next to the person?
It does not specify. So you should
Toss
be
me a
good.
ball of stuffing.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much.
encouragement, I think it'd be like, go
Yeah.
get him. You're not
Yeah,
meant to be next
you
to them.
could call
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
and toss me a ball of stuffing and
It's
be
the
like,
D&D
"You can
player
do
in
it!"
me. It's the D&D in me that thinks I have to be next to you.
It's not lay on hands, it's healing word.
That's right.
There you go.
Discard all status cards.
Cindy, you tweak it. Yeah.
Oh, also
Same.
because the
Hey, you're on Twitter.
because she collapsed,
Whisper or something.
we have to flip the top card,
Oh, okay.
and that goes into the discard.
All right, so the little girl is still sleeping.
I'm
We're
always
happy.
looking for
Yes.
friendly
Okay,
people.
so what you want to do, Derek?
All right, so I guess encouraging, what's the name again?
Flops.
Flops.
All right,
Flops.
so discard one die.
Okay, and now
I got
I
the
want
flops.
to choose which ones I'm doing
Yeah.
smartly here, right? So what?
Green is ranged attack. You don't have a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Blue
the
is
other two are
move and... Or no,
my
blue
God,
is like
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so you discard that and you give a stuffing to Flops.
good. Yep.
Flops, here's a
Flops,
stuffing for you.
You are now
And
Thank you
Flops
so
is
much.
back up. Whoop.
All
All right. An important lesson, I think, is not to get way out ahead of everybody
Also, don't.
when these guys skitter like
Storing
mad. I didn't
dice
think they were that
Yeah,
fast.
I
That's
did
right,
not
Troy.
realize
Storing
they were
is
that
important.
fast.
Yeah. So for your reference, Derek, there are 5 threat dice.
Yeah.
We hit 3 of them.
Immediately.
Oh, do we
Ham?
reload the bag?
There's ham?
I believe
Okay.
so.
Oh,
they
that's
refresh.
good.
What color was the die that you just discarded, Derek?
It was,
So, hi.
uh,
16 Angry Bears
it was
there.
Okay.
shooting
has
the green.
recently
Okay.
You return
gotten
all
into
dice in the
loading ready
discard
mode.
pool to the bag and continue the next player's turn.
All right, so we missed that. Ding. That's
And
our
got
mistake
a,
for the day.
A gift sub.
Because Derek, there was a chance, a higher chance
might
that
have
you would have drawn a
gotten
black.
Okay, so blue you said is movement.
You can use
Which
Blue
I-
is anything.
Oh, it is. Even an
I mean,
attack?
anything is movement.
Yeah. Essentially.
All right, I want to start smashing these things.
Well, can you attack with a blue die?
No unique action. I
Yeah,
don't
you need a
believe
red
you
die
need
to attack.
red,
Okay, so none of these can be used. To
Yeah,
attack.
you can move, or you could continue encouraging.
which is good.
Well, let's do another encourage. That gives a bit of
Another
more.
stuffing. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Reduces your stuff. No, no, you're taking it
You
from
take
you.
it out.
From me, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're literally
Oh,
throwing
thank you.
stuffing.
Okay.
You're just basically like reaching inside your stitches and throwing handfuls of stuffing at me, and I'm grabbing it and shoving it inside my seams.
All right.
And for those last two,
I mean, so what
You
are
could
my
move closer to the
one.
enemies. Yeah, definitely store one. So maybe store the yellow
Okay.
and use the blue to move. Or
Yeah,
I guess it
Well,
doesn't
blue
really
is resistance. Blue is shielding, so if they
Yeah, you
attack
use it for
again,
defense.
you'd use blue as defense. And
Good, yeah.
yellow is searching, but we don't have anything to search for.
Can you move diagonal?
you can. Where you gonna go?
I guess I'll do that. There's nothing else for me to do, right?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Can you save 2 dice?
Two. You can only save one.
So I guess
Certain items might let you save two, but I don't know.
Okay.
what that does for me, but
Andy's turn.
Okay. Now Lumpy goes.
All right, Lampy. Draw all the red dice.
Lumpy.
Randomly.
I've realized that I've given
Lamprey.
I've given Lumpy
Oh,
like
stuffing.
Grape Ape's
I
voice.
get 2 stuffings.
Freaking
that.
Icing.
that was really stupid. I should have used my ability.
Okay,
All right.
discard.
One threat. What's your ability?
I could have swapped what was in the discard pile for that last die, which I used to
Oh, yeah.
move. Once per turn, when taking a turn with Theodora, you may swap one of your attribute dice for an attribute die in the discard pool. Was there a red one to attack?
No, because we had just reset it because of
So
the
it's nothing
surge.
better anyway.
So yeah.
Thanks for the bit.
Aw, thank
Lost the crown and victory. Hey, you're back on top.
All right, Andy, what you gonna do?
So I have a wild and a yellow.
I would recommend using that
I'm
wild.
going to bank the yellow,
Good call.
and I'm going to attack with the wild. I
Travis
don't get
is
my meat
challenging
malice plus.
No.
Good.
No,
Okay,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm going to use the wild to give Amanda more stuffing.
All right, more stuffing.
Here you go, Flops. Oh, here you are, Flops.
Thanks.
All right.
Trying to help.
It is now your turn.
I'm gonna stick it in my ears.
And it's Flops' turn. I like this.
is up.
The enemies don't go every turn.
Yeah.
'Cause
They
they're
surge
very
when enough
strong.
dice
They're
come out.
horrible.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
strong.
That was one of the things about that game, the self-playing D&D games. I always felt like you just get overwhelmed so fast in that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one threat,
Okay, it's not
But you got
bad.
another stuffing.
but I got a stuffing,
Boom.
so that goes in the discard.
Okay.
And I've got a red, but I can't really use
Melee.
because I don't have
I-
a melee weapon.
You okay?
I feel like I want to bank my blue for defense.
You know what you can do with that red? You can give it to another player with the encouragement,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
And I'm gonna use my purple as a green attack
Sounds good.
to attack this thing that's right in front of me.
Gotcha.
Okay, that is
So I don't
this
get my
one right
bonus
here.
for this, but I do
Correct.
get what I attack with. So
Yeah, so this one has a defense of 5. They all have defense of 5. Or no, I'm sorry, this one is the
has
leader.
6,
Ooh.
and he's the strongest.
Yeah.
He's the dangerous one. 4.
Ah, 4.
well,
There you go.
Okay.
I just got to point out there's a great thing on this card. So my weapon is scissors,
Yeah.
which are very good on attack. I get +2 on red.
Yeah.
But when rolling dice for movement, for each result of 6, I lose 1 stuffing. So running with scissors takes into
nice.
pretty cool.
Interesting.
Who desperately? You need melee attack.
Yeah.
Melee, I'm
Give it to
green,
Derek.
So yeah.
And this happens right now.
So
I
this
roll-
goes into your bank, and you get rid of
That
this
gets
one.
discarded, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
swap
I
it.
see.
But that was a search bank,
so
so
that's way better, yeah.
you'd rather have an attack bank.
Alright, here we go.
And now I can defend myself.
So, John,
I get attacked.
maybe I got this wrong
Tacos
for you.
now.
Can you only roll defense if you have a blue die?
No, I don't think so. I
No,
think
well-
any die can be used for defense, but blue is just like, it doesn't really do anything outside of itself.
So you might as well use
just
it.
use it to store. That
Yeah.
way you have like a bankable store. Okay.
Yeah,
1, 2,
I think
3,
in
4,
future
5.
chapters, blue dice will
Nut
be
of
important.
butter.
Oh no! Well, it's not going to happen until the end of your turn, so you might be able to get rid of one of these goobers.
Okay, first up, green attack die.
Do you have a purple die? What do you
I
have?
do have a purple die. I've got this.
Oh, okay. Wait. What? You have a ranged weapon.
I do.
Okay, so you're attacking with a green and a
I'm
purple.
gonna go after the boss.
Do it.
Oh, 8.
9
Nice.
because
Yeah,
yeah.
9.
I've slain this
Bambo! That one is
Well,
gone.
this stays, but it doesn't really matter.
You get a button.
I do get a button.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna store the blue, and I'm gonna gift
What
Andy
about-
the melee.
Thaco Thursdays, where
Now,
our armor class
These
all
two guys
gets
go off.
better.
All right, so let's do the octagon crawly first.
Hey,
Alright.
Derek, explain Thaco to me.
So roll the.
We were talking about
die.
Taco Tuesdays, and I was
One,
saying, well, what
so-
about Thaco
That's a surge.
Thursdays?
Yes.
Or rush.
Do you know what that is? You must know.
I
no?
do.
Which one's
Yes.
that? The
2 hit armor
I
class
have to
0.
Armor
bring-
class 0.
I have to bring my old
So-
D&D collector cards.
It's
in.
right in front of
Yes,
Amanda, so it's not going to
definitely.
move. It's just going to
I'm
whack her
like,
for
we,
4.
We
Ugh.
found one the
She got
other
a defense
day.
They're pretty
Oh,
terrible. too,
Amanda.
and The artwork is like mostly
Amanda.
bad.
It's all off of the fronts of books and modules and stuff. It's fascinating because they'll have multiple ones that fit together in one piece, and you
Oh,
can see
alright.
bits of them.
That's cool.
My brother and I love.
I like
that.
Thaco Thursday, so I think that's an
Taco
awesome idea.
Thursdays sounds like great. Taco Tober, yes.
Yeah.
We should do an additional D&D event in the store called Thaco Thursdays, and just have
We
it's
should.
an old school
We really
throwback
should.
D&D night.
Yeah,
That'd
Amanda.
be good.
Thaco Thursdays, I think is.
It just got born.
Let's get it done.
Derek, you
This
got the
sounds
5th
amazing.
edition re-release book, the big red one. What is it?
That has
The-
all the like old modules. It's got like all the old adventures.
Oh. So these are all gonna go back in the black.
Not
It was
the-
like classic adventures.
After they
redone
surge.
Tales
fifth
for the
edition.
Yawning
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should.
And
do
these are
that.
going to go back in.
Tactober.
So Amanda,
Amanda, you're
Yeah.
being
You
you must
attacked.
defend. 2.
I got 2 off of that.
So you take 2.
2 damage.
No, I'm sorry, you take 1.
1 damage.
Okay.
It was 3 damage, and you
Yay,
take 1.
I didn't collapse again.
Story is a good idea.
This one just goes away.
This one, roll that
And
attack.
this goes to...
2. So, Amanda, you are the storyteller.
Flops is not our tank.
Adjacent to all of us.
No, Flops is really not the tank.
Who do you want to have it attack me?
I'm going to have it attack you because I don't want him to have to use his red die for defense.
Good call. 3. What is
What was its roll?
It was a 2.
Nacho
It was a 2.
We're actually doing Dino
So it's doing 3
Vember at
damage.
work.
So I block it.
Wait.
Oh.
It's a 3.
Yeah.
You blocked all of it, so you keep your defense
Keep my
die.
defense
Hey
die.
guys,
Yes.
so at work in the library, we're doing Dino-Vember, which is all dinosaur-themed stuff for November.
Yeah.
Do we have enough dinosaur-themed games to do Dino-Vember in November for our games?
No doubt. We could bring back Escape 100 Million.
Man,
Yeah,
I
we
would
got
like a
that.
second
Right.
crack at that.
Right? Always
We
5.
could play not Jurassic Park, Dinosaur
threat.
Island.
Dinosaur
Yeah.
Island would be cool. Yeah, I haven't
Do you
got
think
to
we
play
could
it.
I would
do it?
love to
there's,
do.
There's a Raptor. There's-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Raptor's a 2-player game, but I
There's
would
definitely-
absolutely
should
love
we
that.
You did
try
one,
to-
didn't you? Right? 'Cause you
Yeah, but we were saying we could
Yeah.
bring that back. What do you guys think about doing Dino-Vember for November?
I love it.
November sounds good. Our
November.
theme for the month in the future is good.
Dino-Vember? I mean, we already did dice-based
Alright.
stuff. Or
Yeah.
we could just die horribly in every game. Which is also,
Alright.
if we play that
100 million.
900 million years BC.
That was a tough game.
That was
that
fun.
would happen.
All right, Derek, what do you have?
If you have the dice to do it, can you attack more than once?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's start off with an attack.
So the
They both have
Octagon has. Oh, they
Yeah,
both
we
have
did that in
5.
July.
Yeah.
You gotta come up
And
with
this
a
can
list
be
for
this can be
December.
considered an attack die.
Yes.
Just I don't get my bonus because it's not red.
Right, and you can roll multiple dice together.
And this will be movement, right?
Yeah,
Well, it
that
can be
movement.
whatever you
And
want.
this is the big one.
No, I already killed the big one.
Oh, you did? Oh, so
Yep.
it doesn't
I
matter.
shot in the
All right,
head.
we'll start with the red die then.
Alright.
Might as well
So
use the red.
which one are you attacking?
The one I'm based with.
You're here, yeah.
Okay.
so
I imagine melee, you've got to be next to them, right?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to dinosaur games.
So
4,
six
5,
total.
6. That kills
Taco
it.
Thursdays.
Slain.
That was that
Now,
one. Okay.
If you
Really proud
do
of
not
Taco
kill this one, they will
Thursdays.
surge again.
You do get a button.
Because now there's only one black die
Yes.
and one
Hey,
minion.
Andy,
Yes.
So I do want
can
to
you
try to kill it.
immortalize
kill it,
Taco
yeah.
Thursdays
So-
in the quotes?
I'm going to risk using some stuffing by moving. Don't roll a 6. 3 is good.
Just, you know,
so
I feel like
Yeah, boom. And then I can use this to attack.
Yeah, you can use both of them
January?
if you want.
Oh, you roll them both
You can
together.
stack it. So you can
I don't
do
know
up
if we
to
have
a whole
enough
lot.
gin
So does that mean
based
I'm adding the dice
games,
together?
though we could. No, we don't.
Oh boy. Okay, they have all been slain.
I am slain.
So Amanda, what quote do you want
Oh,
me to
God,
say?
God, you play.
That we were talking about Taco Tuesdays, but that means we need Taco Thursdays.
So, we managed to slay all the creatures.
Does that die go back into?
As well, yeah. So
do you have
Andy,
a
stored
whole
dice
die?
don't carry over between, right?
I believe you're correct.
Okay. We all are set. So, let me see.
Taco Thursdays.
The crawlers fought back, but only half-heartedly, apparently. To be more interested in stealing random items throughout the bedroom. Don't let them take a single thing, declared Theodora. But 2 crawlies slipped back under the bed, carrying a comb and a single sock.
No!
The Stuffies fought bravely, but they could not keep odds and ends from being smuggled
Lobster of
into
revenge.
the purple
Sounds really
glow.
good this week. Thank you for telling us. We're really happy about that.
Flop
So
saw-
Andy is actually wearing a wired mic tonight.
Yeah, we think that was making a problem with interference with some of the recording equipment.
Yeah.
Flop saw a crawly dragging away the little girl's beloved baby blanket.
No! No!
It was too much to bear. Oh no! Oh no,
Because
you
you're not
don't!
here. No, it's because Andy doesn't have a wireless mic on.
Oh no, you don't, she cried.
Oh, no, you
and
don't.
dove forward, grabbing a corner of the blanket. But the crawly vanished underneath the bed, and suddenly Flops found herself sliding across the floor at a dangerous pace. Stitch grabbed
dragged under the bed.
Stitch grabbed Flop's leg, and then Theodora, and then Lumpy threw themselves onto the top of the bunny. Together, all four were able to hold onto the blanket and each other. And one of the big beds, what is this? And one of the big girl's feet. "Well done, Stuffies," called Stitch. "Now pull it back." They slowly began to reel the blanket back out from the glow. "It's working," Theodora exclaimed. "We're doing it." But then there was a great tug, as if something underneath unseen force from within the glow was working against them. And just like that, Lumpy lost his grip on the bed. He only had the time to whisper, "Oh no!
Oh no!
Before all four of them were yanked into the purple unknown below the bed. And with that, the light vanished. The bedroom was dark and silent once again. And up on the big girl bed, the sweet little girl held herself and shivered as she slept. Go to page 7-1. So we're off board. Let me just see here.
That's the bad end?
What? No, that's
No, that's the good end. This is the bad end over here,
This is
though.
the
Yeah,
bad end
we
over here.
didn't get defeated.
Confused about where to go. Oh, look for this symbol essentially in the rules. All right, so now we're under the bed.
The
Oh,
place that lies beyond.
so
Someone else,
shall
please,
I?
because I'm terrible at reading upside down. Apparently.
It's a learned skill, I'll tell you that. So we return all dice except those stored on cards
Oh.
So Andy, you had a red one.
Yeah, I had a red bank.
to the dice bag. Reshuffle the minion deck.
So reshuffle the crawlies. So here's the crawly.
It does say the bookkeeper passes the bookmark to the player on the left, but that would be
John,
John.
who doesn't want to be the bookkeeper.
So
Why are you... Yeah, I've got
they
one.
plummeted through the dirty,
That could've
hazy
been
air,
really bad.
screaming as the ground rushed up to meet them. Theodora hit first, quickly followed by Flops and Stitch. "My poor head," moaned Flops, seconds before Lumpy landed right on top of her.
Woomph.
I wonder why you're reading right to left. Yeah. Because it's upside down. The squeaker in his leg giving out a shrill toot. You have a squeaker in your leg?
Apparently so.
Get off! She called from underneath him. "So sorry," Lumpy said, and he rolled away. Where are we?" he called in terror. The Stuffies all looked around at the strange landscape. They appeared to have landed on a giant mound of toys that stretched up into the sky. Past the mound was barren land covered with countless more heaps of toys that reached for the dirty brown sky above. Here and there, crawlies scuttled through the waste, picking at choice parts. Farther in the distance, the Stuffies could see a huge factory belching oily smoke into the sky, and large machines on spiked treads that rumbled over the landscape, probing with their cruel pincer arms. "It's terrible," whispered Flops. "I've heard of this place before," said Stitch sadly. "It's called the Fall, a world between worlds filled with toys that are now lost." "But who would lose their toys?" asked Lumpy, and tears began to form in his eyes. "We have to figure out how to get home to our little girl," said Theodora. "Wait, I hear something," hissed Flops, her long ears pricked up in alert. "Behind us!" The Stuffies turned around, and sure enough, they could make out a train not too far away on the ground below. Battered stuffed animals and dolls toiled by the train. Their backs were bent by large sacks. They shuffled up to the train one by one, and a large mechanical arm would reach down and lift the bags off their backs and toss them onto a train car. The train gave a great belch of black smoke and slowly began to grind forward. Several crawlies ran up to the train with some last-minute additions, and Theodora, with her sharp eyes, recognized an object being carried by a crawly. "The blanket!" she cried. They're putting our girl's blanket on that train. There's no time to lose, barked Stitch. We'd better hoof it down this pile if we're going to catch that train. So, we have to reveal a sleep card.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sleeping.
Okay, cool. Setup. Each player places a stuffy figure on or adjacent to the space marked with the little feet. That is here.
Okay.
And difficult terrain. When moving on the heap of toys, a stuffy loses 1 stuffing for each non-green die used to move. Stuffies on the train tracks and minions are unaffected by this rule. So while we're on this part of the map, it's difficult terrain
Got
for
us.
us.
One less what?
Derek, what was the rule? What was your rule with moving? With your
if I roll a 6 when I move.
oh,
cut
then
myself.
you okay.
So the thing is, if we're traveling on here, we're losing stuffing as we move. If we're not using agility as our
Main
movement skill.
Okay.
So if you're using a green die to move, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All aboard. It requires using a red die to move onto the train. If at any time all stuffies are on the train token, turn to page 11.
So, train is right here.
This is the train?
I believe
Okay.
so.
So our objective is to get to the train. If all stuffies are on the train, see all aboard in
I don't think
section
that's the train.
7-1.
That might not be the train.
If
No,
the
that's
train
the
has
bookmark.
left, we can explore the search symbols for other ways forward.
Okay. So,
So the train moves?
Apparently so.
Oh dear. All right. So we need something to act as the train token.
first off,
Let's place
we'll
ourselves.
Spawn here.
Yep.
Is this okay with everybody?
Sure.
Okay.
Lunchtime doubly so, yes?
So,
Oh, the time is an illusion reference from the battleground
Yeah.
bot. Yes.
okay. So, these eye symbols right here mean these are encounters.
That could be the train, I guess.
Okay.
So the way-
Those are the places to search as well if the train leaves.
Okay. And these ones right here are basically this deck right here is a deck of random toys that we can inhabit as an encounter.
Cool.
And then the player to your left reads the card.
Okay.
So you will have to make a decision based on these cards if you choose to do that. You must use yellow dice.
I think this has got to be it. And where does it start on the train track?
Here,
What's that little thing right there? Is that
that looks like an eye. I don't know.
It's a thing to.
which way is it
It's a
going?
place
this way,
to
though?
search.
This way, yeah, I think.
It didn't tell me where to put it.
Setup. Each player places their things. Place quotes on the marked spaces.
Okay.
Difficult terrain. Requires using a red die to move onto the train.
Is there anything on 2? Do we move here? You may try to pull out.
Perform a red strength test. Difficulty
You
5.
might not need to. We probably shouldn't read that yet.
Okay.
So we're aiming to get to the train.
And it's moving down the track, I assume?
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything. Get to the train. If all stuffies are on the train, see the all aboard section 7-1.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Train token on the tracks
Yep.
in the what? In the bottom right.
Where does it say that?
In the bottom right corner.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So
Right here.
So when does the train token move?
I'm not sure. Does it specify a certain type of enemy that we need to place for villains?
No.
I'm assuming it's the cross.
First surge,
special-
go to
what's this
section
all
7-3.
aboard thing?
All aboard. It requires using a red die to move onto the train, and then we can move on. So I think we spawn with more crawlies, because that's what we had before.
This is terribly confusing to me. Okay, so setup. Each player places their stuffy.
Yep.
Place the train token on the tracks at the bottom right corner of the map. Yes. Place the quotes on the indicated spaces. Oh, and this is a search of 4 area, so we can search at any time with a yellow die if we roll a 4 or higher.
Which lets us get through this deck look through 6.
It requires using a red die to move onto the train. If at any time all stuffies are on the train token, turn to page 11, section 11.1. Perform a red strength test, difficulty 5, to board the train. Pass. Retrieve the red wagon. Oh,
Red wagon's right here.
okay. You try to pull the red wagon free. Well, that's 7.2 and 7.3 must be these two.
I'm letting them puzzle out.
Well, here's
And-
this is an encounter right here. This must be used for like searching if we choose not to do the train track. We might have an option to.
All right. Let's just go. Whose turn was it?
That's
Is
what
it
I
my
said. If
turn?
the train leaves, there are searching spots.
Does it state if the
There,
enemies
it doesn't
spawn,
say anything about enemies, so
okay?
no
So
enemies
it
yet.
must be difficult terrain then.
All right.
Yeah,
The
it's
terrain is
it's
the
that
enemy.
the terrain is hurting us as
Is
we
it
go
my
through
move?
It should be, yes, because
Okay.
we left off on you.
All right. Ooh, let's catch that train. I'm going to run towards the train as fast as I
We
can.
also all got a heart.
Yes.
Because we managed to win
That's-
the last scenario. Hearts will be used for other abilities.
Ooh.
Ooh, you got some good dice.
Oh, I'm using that ability.
Theodora, I'm giving you a red die.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you have a green die for movement.
Yeah,
good.
I can move lickety split. What is required to talk to the talkie spots?
Yellow.
I don't have any yellow.
It's perception, search. Yeah.
But you have purple.
You have purple. That counts as yellow.
That's true. I could use. I'm going to roll 2 dice and see how far I move
And use
using
one of the
green
purple as a
and
green.
purple. Yep.
8.
8.
1, 2, 3. Where do you want to go out into the train? You need to use a red die to get on the train, right?
Yeah.
And you've got.
Oh wait,
banked.
what was difficult terrain?
If you're
Using
not
green.
using green, you lose
you are.
stuffing.
Well,
But I used a non-green.
It's not clear if using a purple as a wild card counts as a green.
For each non-green die used,
so
you lose
you
one
can
stuffing.
Use 3 movement and not use.
No, I'm just going to pay the stuffing.
Okay.
Okay, so you were here. Did you want to continue on?
Yeah, I'm just going to go right up to the train.
Okay, and what
And
does
I'm
it
going to
say you
use
use
a
red die?
red die to try and climb aboard.
So what do you
if
need to
you-
roll? 5?
Yeah.
And if you
Perform a
fail?
red strength skill test. Difficulty 5. And I don't think my weapon lets me add to that, so I'm going to use my banked die.
Okay. 4.
4. I failed.
So what happens?
Fail. Trying to dislodge the wagon causes an avalanche of toy parts to fall on you. Digging you free costs time. Reveal a sleep card.
Oh
I
no!
don't get the wagon though.
Oh,
The
no,
wagon's
wait,
here.
that should have been here.
Oh, is that what the
That
red
should have
wagon
been, that's 7-2. 7-3, is there 7-3?
Well, there's no I believe.
I think you're just trying to do all aboard, right? You're not actually going to any of those.
Okay,
So all aboard is
it requires using a red die to move on to the train.
and it gave you.
Oh, okay, so I'll just spend a red die.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have rolled my 2.
That's the dislodge the wagon if you're in that.
Yeah,
spot.
that's if you're in
Gotcha.
7-2 here.
Got it.
So I'm on the train, and now I'm going to. I've still got my banked red. I'm no longer in the difficult terrain,
Yep.
so I'm going to roll my remaining purple as a move. It's a 1, and I'm going to move over here so I'm not in anybody's way,
Okay.
and they can get on the train.
Amanda, it is your turn.
These are all discarded. Sorry, there was a lot of confusion there, guys.
Yeah,
We still
that's a
don't
little bit.
fully understand because there's instructions for what happens if the train gets away,
All right.
but there's not instructions for how to move the train.
Well, there's a threat track, a threat die.
Now it's
so.
a surge. First
Oh.
surge, go to 7-3. Additional surge reveals sleep card.
7-3.
You watch in
Oh,
dismay
no.
as the train lumbers away.
So-
Clickety clickety click down the track. Set up. Remove the train token from play. Oh no.
Any stuffies on the train.
Must be placed on the track. Any
It left without you. You basically weren't able.
I got
to,
on it.
Yeah.
But then the surge happened. I think it's really hard to get everybody onto that train before a surge.
On the track, any of the 4 spaces occupied. Generate a random encounter.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, okay. Random encounter is just draw a random thing from the deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And place
Do
it
we
in
need
the
those ones in the deck, or?
Oh, yeah, sorry. These are all just mobs, so...
No bosses in this pile?
No bosses in this pile. Bosses might be a part of the story. Oh, what do we got?
We got a Dark Heart.
Oh, it's a 7. So a Dark Heart. It has 2 abilities too, but it's just like a normal enemy normally. But that's
So that counts as a surge, so we have to do reveal a sleep card.
Not yet, because nobody collapsed. It's after the first surge. Additional surge. So from now on, if we get a surge.
I
that's what'll
gotcha.
happen.
Okay.
So that's why the train disappeared. Now we know. Okay, it is your turn, Amanda.
Wasn't our whole achievement to get on the train and leave, though?
Well, if the train leaves, we now have to search
to find the
here
way.
or search here or here to find a way.
So we need yellow dice.
Yeah.
So Amanda.
I have 2 yellow dice.
Can I get one?
But I also don't have any means of moving
Without losing stuffing.
without losing stuff, except
Your ability.
I have an ability called Leap, which lets me use my heart and choose a space within 4 spaces and sight of flops, and I can place flops on that space.
You super jump like Mario.
Yeah.
Or Luigi.
But it has to be within 4 spaces?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, you can go talk to somebody.
So I'm going to go talk to someone by using my heart.
Alright, so now you use a yellow die, I believe, to interact with people.
Yep.
So
I'll
let's...
pass a yellow die to someone, but I'm going to use a yellow die.
Well, first let's draw from the interacty deck.
Okay, so, should we do it left or right?
I'll read.
Alright, so this is her encounter. You don't get to tell her she's
Choo-choo.
going to make a choice.
You have to pass the yellow die, I think, Amanda.
I want to be the
So you
train.
need to get a full... Okay.
There. You use the yellow die. We draw a card.
Alright, what is it?
Junk in his trunk. You met a frantic clown doll trying to cram too much junk into his suitcase. Hey kid, he calls. I gotta get out of here. Give me a hand, would you? Choice. Do you spend a yellow die to encourage him?
Yes or
Help me out, kid.
So here's the thing: if I spend that yellow die, I can't encourage anyone else with it.
no? Yeah, so...
You could use a purple die.
Oh, I could. So yeah, I'll use a purple as a yellow
Okay.
and encourage it.
What happens with encouragement?
If you spend the die please. Mr. Janky appreciates your help. Look through the item deck. Take any card and equip it or trade it. Then shuffle the item deck.
So, just remember the symbols in the top corner essentially mean you can only have one of that type of card.
Cool. Okay.
Alright. And you still have 2 each. Yeah, I love... These are like... this is by the same people who did Dead of Winter. So, it's like their crossword puzzle. Okay. So you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing.
So John, I think we did that surge in the wrong order. It should have happened at the end of her
it does
turn.
happen at the end. But either way, I guess you'd be
I'm
off.
still on the train. It's okay.
Like, there's no way I could make it to the train, so...
Amanda, you have 2 dice left.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for an object,
Okay.
so...
You could move here and try to kill it.
So my immediate thing with Choo Choo
Yeah.
trains is a Stephen King reference, which is from the 3rd Dark Tower book. Yeah, The Wastelands, which is hands down my favorite of the Dark Tower
I'm
books.
sorry, chat. Somebody should have said something.
I don't have the map up. Now you
Oh,
can see the
sorry.
map.
Oh,
I had-
how are we on?
During
And
it was
has
on
like a stream
wide
of
angle.
consciousness, like
So the
it
train
has like
was
a,
here.
a stream of consciousness.
We started over there.
Like paper written by one of, like Jake, who's the main character in that one for a large chunk of that book, and that's nice. Choo choo, and that is the truth. is a repeated line in that. And so whenever I see the words choo choo, my immediate response is go, and that is the truth. Every single time.
Always like
And no one knows what I'm talking about. When
Blaine
I
is
say
a
it.
pain.
Blaine is a pain. Blaine the mono. Blaine is a pain, and that is the truth. Wow. Oh, okay. That sand shovel, look at that. It's got a spike coming out of the side of it.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
The melee weapons in this are
Really cool.
vicious. I could get my archery set. It's better than old number 2.
Then you just tap
I-
old number 2, or I guess you.
No,
trade
you
it.
get
I
rid
could
of.
give
Yeah.
it to someone if they want a ranged weapon.
I take it.
Is
I mean,
it better
can you
than
take it?
your?
Is it better than
Oh,
your rubber
yes.
bands? Yeah. So I'll take the archery set, and you can take that. This actually the slingshot.
And that just gets shuffled back into
a
the
ranged
deck.
attack.
I believe it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the archery set has a range of 6, not 7, but you add 2 to any green result. So,
Here you go.
do I have to shuffle this?
Yes. Well, I'll shuffle it for you while you decide what to do with your
Thank
other
you.
dice.
So my other dice, I feel like
Thanks for the bits.
not number 1 in the bit derby. No, Pi has been.
Yeah, Pi
Very
put in
generous.
50 bits already today.
So I have a yellow die, which I think I'm going to pass to. Who thinks they're going to be able to get to one of these searching spaces? Do you think
I think I'll be good no matter what.
I will pass it to you?
You can take a second one, or you lose.
He
trade
loses that one, but he gets it
Trade
yellow.
that.
So.
Yellow is my color. With
Yeah.
the
And I will bank my red unless someone wants. You both have red
Yeah.
banked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bother passing that. And I'm going to stay right where I am because I'm not going to use a red to move. So I'm going to bank that for defense.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. 5. Thank God I got that yellow.
Oh wait, John.
Oh,
These
yeah.
had to be back in there, so
I'll
do
be-
re-roll, redraw.
Redraw. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Ooh, that ain't good. We're gonna flip a sleep card.
Yeah, we are.
So, bada boo. I got a 5.
Excellent. You earned some fluff.
Okay. First up, movement, green. 3. And it's a plus. Oh no, that's only for attacks. Right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh no, actually, I don't want to go that way because I want to be getting to one of these two to search. So, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Roll again.
This time you're gonna take damage because difficult terrain.
Yeah, thank God I got stuffing. 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That
Now,
out.
are you going to use your yellow die to inspect number 2? Is that number 2 or number 1?
That is number 2.
Okay.
I'm going to actually trade my heart in. I automatically pass the test. That's one of my abilities if I do.
We don't even know if it's a test yet.
Let's see.
What about that over there? Asked Flops, pointing to an old red wagon that protruded from the mound. That might get us down quicker. It might break our necks, too, but it sure looks like a lot of fun. If the train is left and you would like to chase in the red wagon, go to section 7-2.
That one.
Now you do the test, perform a red strength skill test, difficulty 5, but you used your ability,
Yep. So
Okay.
I automatically pass.
pass. You managed to pull the red wagon out. Retrieve the red wagon item from the discovery stack and place it nearby.
So much depends upon a red.
The Stuffies hop in the wagon and try to catch the train by riding down the hill to where the railroad, where the train rounds the bend. Gain 1 heart. Nice. Go to page 9, section 9-1, even if there are minions in play.
Woo! I found a shortcut.
Excellent.
Next area. 9-1.
The thrill ride.
Woo!
And here's us on the cart. And it's got a little slope here.
Okay.
So we have to decide, I think, where we are. Return all dice except those stored on cards to the dice bag.
Gotcha.
And I guess we get rid of this.
Yep. Thank God he didn't go off. He's stronger. Thank you.
The bookkeeper passes the bookmark to the player on their left. You don't have to do that. and new bookkeeper reads the following. There was no time to empty all the toys from the wagon. They quickly climbed in, except Lumpy, who pushed from the rear. It was difficult work, but Lumpy gave a determined trumpet, and suddenly the wagon began to roll. Lumpy barely clambered aboard before the wagon began to shoot down the mound. It bounced as it struck all manner of strange shapes in the garbage, and the Stuffies began to scream. How will we stop this thing? Oh, that's me, that's Lumpy. How will we stop this thing? Lumpy shrieked. I don't think you'll like the answer, Flops replied. Aim for the ramp, shouted Theodora, pointing down at a toboggan that protruded from the base of the heap.
Oh my god.
If we hit it just right, we might be
trouble.
able to catch that train. Setup. Place the red wagon token on the space marked with start. Each player places their Stuffy figure in the wagon spot of their choice, and then begin taking turns normally.
Who wants what? Who wants to be in the front of this roller coaster?
Oh God!
I'll take the front. I'm Theodora.
I'll sit in front
I'm the brave
too.
leader.
Okay.
All right, I'm in back.
Very good.
Okay, special rules. When a player draws one or more black dice, she must roll them and place them on the threat tracks. These represent hazards to avoid.
Oh.
Yellow, a Stuffy can attempt to spot hazards on its turn by choosing the black die on the threat track and rolling one or more of their yellow dice. If the roll is equal to or higher than the chosen die, discard that die from the threat track.
Okay.
Purple, if you pass a skill test on this page, add any purple dice used in that test to the group task track, which is this track here.
Oh, here, this is what the other one's for.
To represent your increasing speed. These dice make steering harder, but it will help in the final test. Red, a Stuffy can attempt to slow the wagon on their turn by choosing a die on the group task track and rolling one or more of their red dice. If the roll is equal to or higher than the chosen die, discard it from the group task track.
Okay.
Moving the wagon. Once per turn, during the perform actions step, a player must move the wagon downhill one space and go to the entry for that listed for that space. This move does not require a die. Special difficulty. I don't think we'll do this.
Okay.
But accepting the test in section 9.6, add 1 to the difficulty of each test on this page if you're playing on special difficulty, which we're not, because we're streaming and it's easier not to do that.
So the first one's 9-2.
Right, so we're not going to read that until we move to the next space.
Okay.
So I believe it is Derek's turn?
So I draw before we move.
Yes. Draw 5 dice.
We are going to get the stuffing knocked out of us.
Someone else to be fine.
Oh my goodness, that is such a quote.
Hey! This guy got stuffing knocked into him. Good job. Good draw.
That should also be a quote.
Yeah,
What?
we are going to get the stuffing knocked out of us.
That'd be
And
great.
then this guy got the stuffing knocked into him.
So you already give me a stuffing?
Yes, we gave
Can
you
we
a
do
stuffing.
2 quotes in one? Can we do
Sure.
like bar? Okay, so now he moves down here. Is that how that
Yep.
works? Okay, so now it's
9-2.
Not the turn that's rated.
Yeah.
The wagon gains in speed. Looking ahead, you realize the jump is going to be incredibly dangerous. Perform a yellow perception check or a green agility skill test. Difficulty 2+.
Doesn't seem so hard.
Okay.
Is there any reason to keep a second one? Or should I roll them both?
Roll
just to
both,
ensure.
just-
So there's
Sure.
different past circumstances for yellow or green. So I'm not going to read you the next section. You choose. Are you doing a green test or a yellow one? Remember, if you
I
use
could
the purple as a yellow, you're going to accelerate,
Which is dangerous, but
but ultimately useful in the end.
yeah.
It said
Yeah,
that we
I don't
want to
like
have
that.
some purple on the
Or you
track
could
at
do
the end.
3 green, and that way we just get it on there anyway.
I understood.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's super fast.
Wait,
Oh, because the
I get
purple
that,
will
but-
stack onto the green. Because it'll just add it either way.
Any purple dice that you use in tests are going to go on here, speeding the wagon up, but ultimately helping us at the end of this chapter.
okay, well, I'll go with the group's consensus here. Do we want to go? Do you want me to roll all 3 and have
Roll all 3.
Roll 3, that'd be good.
So we're doing a green agility skill test, difficulty 2+. There's no way you can roll less than 3.
That is right.
Oh,
That's
okay.
way up there.
6, 10, 15.
15. Green pass. Quick reflexes helped you steer around to dangerous obstacles. That's it. All right. My turn.
9-3 would be you. So yeah.
Yep.
And what was
Do you have any
this?
dice left over? You have a red die. Do you
you
want
have
to
a red
pass
die.
that to somebody? I've got a red die. Amanda's got a red die. John, do you have a die?
I have a yellow. I'm gonna keep
Which
it.
you'd
Okay.
prefer, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do with the red then?
No, you can just discard it.
Okay.
You
What do
could
these
pass
do?
stuffing to somebody. Amanda, how much stuffing do you have left?
3.
You want to give Amanda a stuffing?
I could do that.
Okay.
You got a stuffing this round,
Great.
right?
Yeah, he did pick one up.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna put my hand here so nobody.
All right, dice.
All right, Andy.
I'm gonna draw 5
Looks like
dice.
you're gonna need blue,
Blue or
and
green.
green.
3,
Okay.
4, 5.
Hey. All right. There's some stuffing.
Thank you.
And,
So that's my stuffing
pass
die.
that white one. Cool.
So I have a purple, a blue, a red, and a yellow.
And you have a red banked.
And I have a red banked. All right, so go ahead and read.
A pile of toys blocked your path,
Uh-oh.
and you realized a collision was unavoidable. Perform a blue resistance check or a green agility skill test. Difficulty 3+.
All right. So
I would
go
go-
back to the beginning of this chapter.
Oh.
There was something about doing red checks to get rid of dice from here.
A Stuffy can attempt to slow the wagon down on their turn by choosing a red die from the group stack and rolling one or more of their red dice. If the roll is equal to or higher than this die, then you can get rid of it.
So I would have to roll a 6 to get rid of that die. I'm going to leave that die there. I'm going to do a blue check.
That's a good call because of your ability.
Yep. Here we go.
All right, you pass.
I pass and add a 3 to this track.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Blue pass. You grabbed a toddler push toy, and you extended it out.
It's one of those pop
Sack-
things.
yeah,
Pop,
it's one
pop,
of
pop,
the
pop,
and
pop, pop, pop.
extended it out in front of you. It acted as a battering ram, smashing the toy
Nice.
pile out of your way. You get to draw a card from the item deck. So you draw an item.
I've got a backpack.
Nice.
I have 2 extra accessory item slots.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
I still have 2 dice left.
What would you like to use?
My yellow die is not terribly helpful, but it looks like we're going to need yellow on the next space. So
Yep.
I'm going to pass a yellow die to you. Here you go,
I'll
Flops.
take a yellow.
And I'm
I
going to roll red against
discard
this
my red.
3
Okay.
to attempt to slow the cart. I rolled a 4, so
Here.
I don't know how that's going to affect us because it did say we want more, but it's also making
all
us go
depends.
faster. I don't know.
Okay. Amanda.
Yeah.
You get the bag.
Yep, we haven't drawn a surge yet.
Don't sing.
Oh, sorry.
Why would you do that?
Don't sing.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting out of the way.
No, Andy. No.
I have to put a quote in.
Okay.
Andy.
Yes.
Look what you've done.
Oh no!
You saw
That's
draw
my
one more
fault.
die.
That was me. Oh no!
4. Okay.
4 surges.
When a player draws one or more black dice, she must roll them. So
And they go on the threat
they're
track.
hazards. So yeah. How do we get rid of hazards again?
I don't
Yellow. Yellow dice. Yellow dice.
Super.
get rid of them.
Well, we have to roll a yellow check anyway.
Yeah. All right. So Amanda, you're on 9-3, correct? Oh, 9-4.
9-4.
A giant machine bursts up from the pile, sending a wagon sliding to the left. Sending the wagon sliding to the left. The machine's engine roared, and the black smoke began to roll out of the giant exhaust pipes.
That's great.
That the wagon was about to pass next to. Incoming! You must perform a yellow perception check or a green agility check, +4 difficulty.
Well, while I have green reroll,
Yeah.
I don't have any green dice except for this purple, and that would give me 1. Whereas if I roll for the yellow check, I don't get to re-roll, but I do get 2 dice
Yeah, so-
out of it.
Give it a shot.
So it's a 4?
4. You need to get to 4 of those. Hey!
I did indeed. So that was a 10.
Sped us up.
Yeah.
Good. Alright.
So pass the check.
You veered from the wagon off to the side, just as the flames spewed from the pipes. The fire licked at the side of your wagon, but no one aboard was hurt, thanks to your moving. You get a heart.
Oh, sweet.
There you go. Alright, my turn.
Oh, and we move.
Okay.
And now we're 9-5, right?
9-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that ain't good.
No.
Roll 4.
What happens when the threat track is full?
We just got to start getting rid of them because they're hazards.
The yellows get rid of them though?
Yellows can get rid of them. I'm going to take a stuffing. I'm going to roll 3 of these and attempt to kill 3 obstacles.
Does that mean you just fail the check for this
No,
section?
not necessarily, because I have a purple that can count.
Okay, okay. Wait. Don't roll them all 3 at the same time.
Oh, really?
Choose a die. Declare which one you're trying to beat. So this one is a 2.
I'll try to beat that one first.
Which, okay, with 1 die?
With 1 die. These are all
Okay.
done. I kill it.
That's a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll
This
attempt
one's
to
a
kill
3.
4.
4
Kill
kills that. Okay, 2 threats down. This one's a 3.
it. Last one.
Do it.
3.
3. Oh, that was well
Yeah.
rolled.
Okay.
So we're down
Now,
to 2 threats now.
Can someone please read for 9-5 what I need
Yes.
to pass? What is
Did we
the-
already read the description?
We did.
Okay.
I'm so screwed.
You spied the broken, jagged handle of a hockey stick, and the wagon was about to pass right under it. Perform a red strength or blue resistance skill test, difficulty 5.
I'm so screwed.
+2.
Okay.
Do we add our speed to the difficulty or something?
No, that's at the end of the thing. I
no,
think.
maybe that's what the plus is.
What does it say? Make steering harder, but will help in the final test. So we don't know what it's for until the final test.
Yeah,
is
they all
here.
say 5 plus, but
Ready? Pray for me, kids. 5.
Nice.
We're gonna go with red because nobody did red yet.
Yeah.
all right.
So red pass.
You grab a hold of a bowling pin and give a mighty swing. The stick explodes into splinters. Remove all status cards from the stuffies.
Well, none of us have any
None of us have any
status.
statuses, but that would have been cool. And now we're on 9-6, which makes it Derek's turn.
That was some stellar dice rolling there.
that was good.
That was a good turn.
That
a
was
good turn.
really good.
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular. So draw your 5 and then we'll move the cart.
2, 3, 4.
You got a stuffing.
There you are. Okay. And you got another purple, which is good, hopefully, because I think this one's all purple.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Crash.
There are times when one can only hope for luck. The red wagon hits the ramp, and you call upon the child to protect you. Protect you all as you rocket towards an unknown fate. Perform a purple luck skill test, difficulty 6. Subtract 1 from the difficulty for each die, regardless of the die's result, on the group test track.
Oh.
So
So
it's a 3.
I gotta remember my ability because I've forgotten every turn. I can swap one of these for what's in here.
Yes,
so it's
you
good
can.
to get a purple.
Get that purple.
Yeah.
What do you
Get
think is
that
the
purple.
least useful die?
Blue.
I don't think anything matters right now. Okay.
All right.
So roll the 2 purple.
And the black one's
And it's a 6, but it's
Minus
minus
3,
3, so it's
so
really
we
a
need-
difficulty 3.
Yeah.
3.
Just don't roll snake eyes.
Well, it's impossible.
I mean, yeah. there you go.
Yeah, 7.
All right. What
Pass. Stuffies and dolls looked up in shock and awe as your wagon flew overhead.
I should have brought a bunch of stuffed animals.
Who in the world is that?
'Cause I
Said
have
a
a bunch
brown,
at home.
broken down doll. A wagon of darn fools, that's for sure, said a patched up bear. Your wagon smashes into a pile of toys on the train car, and everyone went flying. But Theodora couldn't help but grin as the stuffies zipped away
Nice.
on the speeding train. discard the red wagon item card. Go to page 11, section 11.1.
Okay, so next page. We're getting there, guys.
So,
Ooh.
how many pages are there in a chapter?
The first
when
one,
do you
I
get to
think
stop?
It states on the back. Hang on.
Oh,
Page 15.
okay. We're up to page 11.
So yeah, 2 more pages after this.
Amanda,
Yeah,
do you
hi.
want to do story time?
Sure.
Return all dice to the bag.
Yep, all dice go to the bag.
Good.
I used my banked one, so.
Including our banked dice?
I don't have any banks.
I had a blanked red. Oh, well.
It says return all dice except those stored on cards.
Oh, okay.
So keep your banks. There's no one in the cars behind us, said Theodora upon her return. The blanket must be up ahead. All I found were more broken toys. This is a foul place, spat Flops. The sooner we get that blanket back and get out of here, the better. Agreed, said Stitch. So let's move up the line and find the car with our little girl's blanket. The group began to move their way up the train cars, and it didn't take long before they spotted the Crawly with the blanket. But the Crawly was passing the blanket off to yet another minion. This one much larger and far more menacing. Its torso had a gaping, heart-shaped hole from which rose a thin black vapor. What on earth is that? Whispered Lumpy.
It's a Heartless.
I don't know, said Stitch, but we didn't come all this way to give up on the blanket. You have stuffies to lend for props? So well, that would be awesome, and I would really appreciate that. I have 2 of my oldest stuffed animals. An owl that was given to me before I was born.
Or an
That's basically a pillow
the Dark
with
Heart leader,
and
a number of
a
crawlies
bear
equal to the
that I
number of
got when I was
players,
one.
minus 1.
Like I turned
So
1
3
and then immediately got the bear
crawlies.
as a gift.
But not the leader crawl. There's the
And
leader dark heart.
they are both in my living room right now.
There's the leader.
I also have a stuffed dog that I love that I got not long before my childhood dog passed. And I have a bear that is a Borg.
There we go.
Bear of Borg. What else do I have for stuff? Oh, I have my
And then there's the 3 over there.
my
just don't
stuffed
use the circle
Elcor.
one.
I have my little Elcor. It talks.
Like this?
No, they go adjacent
Effect.
to...
I also have the Hanar hat, which
Yeah.
I totally could have brought.
Oh, nuts.
The Hanar is 100%
Sure.
stuffed, like a stuffed animal. I just put it
Yeah.
on my hand. It's the Hatnar.
Cool. Okay.
All right, special rules for the train.
Suddenly we're in a Bond flick.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. It's an adventure. Dark Heart movement. When activating the Dark Heart, do not move it. Dark Heart threat. When placing a threat die on the threat track, roll it. If the number matches one other die on the track, the train passes beneath a dangerous low hazard. The stuffies must drop onto their bellies to avoid damage. Stuffies with 4 or more stuffing lose 1 stuffing.
Okay.
If the number result matches 2 other dice, the Dark Heart uncouples the train. Go to section 11.2.
Ooh.
Catching the Dark Heart. The Dark Heart has the baby blanket, and your only chance of getting it back is by getting up close and personal. If a stuffy on the Dark Heart's train car successfully defeats the Dark Heart, go to section 11.3.
So it's there.
If the Dark Heart is defeated any other way, go to section 11.4.
Okay, so now we know exactly what we need to do. And we got 2 search areas with a search difficulty of 3. Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, okay, search difficulty of 3 and 2 specials.
Specials, yeah.
Okay.
Which are on the sideboard here, which we do not need.
Yeah, right. All right. And it is my turn because Derek had just... Oops, that's me. Sorry, guys.
Colors is changing. All right, so I put you right in the center, Andy.
Awesome. It did not give special instructions for moving from train car to train
these
car.
are green areas, so you need agility to move on to the thing.
Okay, those are green lines.
But this, apparently, there's only one way to get on here. So it's a bridge. See, because there's no dotted line around it. So one at a time, I think, is how this
Okay,
is
okay.
gonna go.
Ah,
What's wrong?
I drew 3 black dice.
Oh, God. Okay, well, you're rolling them.
All right, first one is a 3.
What's up? Do you have an ability?
Use this ability anytime player draws dice. That player may return all the dice just drawn to the bag and redraw.
So you can use your heart ability?
Use that heart
That
ability.
seems like a good
All
time
right,
to use
yeah.
Good job, Theodora.
It. Go here.
Watch me draw 5 black dice now.
Don't say it! Why did you choose to say it? Hey!
4, 5. No black dice. That's better. I like that a lot
job.
better. All right, so I need a green to move across that gap.
To get across the gap, you need green.
I'm going to roll a purple.
Sounds good. 4.
Boom.
Now, I don't know the rules of crossing the enemy, but I don't know if you can do that.
I know you can move through a space with a friendly stuffy. Go to move. I don't know about moving through an enemy. I know you cannot stop on a space that has somebody else in it.
To the board.
Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you, Jay.
You cannot move through a space containing a minion.
All right, so I'm stuck where I am, but I can open up the path for you folk
And we have range attacks coming up.
by smacking one of these guys off of here.
Kill it!
I'm actually going to... So I used this die.
Yeah, so 2 red dice would be a great melee attack. Also, what are your heart abilities that I think makes blue and a red, right?
Let's see. Protect. Reinforce. Defensive strike. So my abilities are use my ability when another stuffy would lose stuffing. I can lose 1 or more of that stuffing instead.
That's
Or reinforced stitching. Use this ability when Lumpy would lose 3 or more stuffing all at once. Lumpy loses 2 stuffing instead. Or defensive strike. Use this ability before attacking with Lumpy. Add 1 blue die to your attack roll.
That's pretty good.
But I want to hang on to my... Well, maybe I don't. I'm going to use my heart.
You also have the red dice stored.
I do have a red die stored. I'm not going to use the heart right away. I'm going to try and kill all 3 of these folks in one go.
You're able to. That is a total thing you can do.
So I'm attacking the Octagon first.
Okay, Octagon.
Octogobstopper. He's a strength of 5. I'm going to use 2 red dice.
Okay.
Wow, did I myrtleize him.
Good
That's an
kill.
11, 12, 13.
Octagon's dead.
Okay. I have 1 red die
And a blue.
blue die that I could use with a heart. Man, I shouldn't have used 2 dice on that thing. It's okay. It's okay.
This is nothing you can predict. You
Yeah, I
can't
know.
predict dice.
I'm going to attack the square
would be
person
fabulous.
next.
Okay.
And yeah,
What did
by
Steve
my-
say?
the-
It would be interesting to see a giant side of this game.
Oh, yeah. That'd be really cool. Well, we haven't
That
shown
would
off
be.
all the miniatures.
With like
Yeah.
actual stuff.
Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
miniatures aren't that miniature. Okay.
Yeah, my stuffed animals, the bear and the owl are... The owl, there's not much for it to be deprived of. Though the beak is definitely missing all of its stuffing. It's just a flap of fabric. But the bear has an arm that comes out of its joint a bit, and a nice slice under the neck.
Oh, God.
Which is terrifying. But I brought it to a school last spring because it was Teddy Bear Day, and I was visiting this school as a librarian. And
I think
I let all
Amanda,
the kids touch the bear.
during the Extra Life 25-hour marathon, we have to do a chapter of this
Yeah.
in pajamas with stuffed
With our
animals.
stuffed animals?
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
100%.
probably look into getting like fairly larger sized stuffed dice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a blue
Hey,
tote
Flops!
that
There is
we can-
print
Yeah.
and play stuff.
I'm passing you a
available,
yellow
for
die.
this thing. It's like a bonus.
Use it
adventure.
to search on your
You can get,
turn.
like, a giant
Okay, is
poster
it my
set.
turn?
No, I still have 2 dice to
Oh, then
roll.
you should do
Oh, yeah,
something
no
with
doubt.
those.
I'm trying to reduce the crosstalk. All right, I'm going to
Like large things like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm going to use my defensive strike and use a blue and red die together to attack the square crawly.
You swear, Crowley? You ain't cool. You swear. Oh, you killed it.
Myrtleized it with a 12.
Okay, so that's 2 dead crawlies.
Yes, 2 of the crawlies are gone.
Okay, you still have another die, or are you out?
Oh, do I get a button for each of those?
I believe so, yes. There's some buttons.
Button. I've got the buttons.
Buttons are usually used to cash into
That's
cards.
that's all of my dice.
Okay. Now,
So-
it is your turn, remember?
Flops. I've cleared a path.
That was a pretty good turn.
Yeah, good job.
You need green.
Oh, there's some much needed stuffing.
Well, I got stuffing,
You got 3 stuffing, but
but I got a purple.
you got a
Now
purple.
you are a tank.
And what's
Yeah,
your range on
apparently.
your weapon?
Yeah, there's no limit.
6.
Is that what you can have for stuffing?
Yeah.
I think if you move here, it's a diagonal line. I'm pretty sure.
Or you could
No,
just run across
everything here.
and use your yellows to search.
I didn't ask you where you wanted to be placed in the setup.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. You can move past Andy, though.
Yeah,
Like you can move with the purple die.
yeah. And I could search.
And you have yellow that you could use to move, too. You want it?
Oh, that's right. I do have a yellow over here.
I just gave her a yellow, yeah. During my turn, I was like, here,
Pretty good.
I know you're gonna need a yellow.
Huh?
So, can I do more than one action or just one action?
No, you can do more than one. As many as you have dice.
All right. So here's the thing. I can move with the purple, or I could move with the yellow.
No.
No, I can move with the purple, and then search.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't both attack and.
Right.
So I'll move with the purple.
See how far you move?
Yeah.
You can do it, Flops.
5.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And I can search there.
Okay, you just need to pass a 3.
Well, no. That's not a pass of 3. That's a special.
Okay.
That's, what is it, number 1?
We are
Yeah.
doing specials or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
The train trips
Do I need to roll
afforded
for
this. Well, let's find out.
We'll see. It might be a pass.
I think you just have to give it. I think, yeah.
The train trip afforded
Yes.
the Stuffies the chance
Please
to
do.
better observe the strange new world they
Hey,
found themselves in. The unhealthy color of the sky
Okay,
never
Zach,
really
just a second.
changed with the scenery. Though far out on the uneven horizon, something like a sunrise turned the sky violet.
I don't like that.
Soon the heaped garbage piles were far off in the distance, and trees began to streak past. The winding tracks led the train deep into a forest of twisting trees that bore little resemblance to what they were used to back home. The forest closed in around the train, trees reaching across the track to form a sort of tunnel. Suddenly, the trees opened up as the train crossed a trestle of metal over a winding river, some distance below. Down on the river, they spied a handful of strangers riding a simple raft of wood. Now that looks fun. Gain 1 heart.
That's all. There you
That's
go.
it.
Cool.
That's
That was a lot of reading for gaining 1 heart.
We would love you to join Team Battleground
Most
for
def.
Extra Life.
that'd be really cool.
Andy
Yeah.
knows more about how that, like, joining a team works.
Okay.
But yeah, are you going to be able to come by Abington for like the game day? Because we're doing a 25-hour marathon overnight with waffles
Well,
and games and stuff.
That's certainly not good.
And
We don't
yeah,
have any more hearts.
Midnight
Andy-
Legacy Werewolf this time, right?
midnight. We play.
Are we really gonna do
gigantic
Legacy
game
Werewolf
of
game?
werewolves.
Oh God.
And
You don't have to roll them, John.
have, like, it's like a
Don't I? I thought it was
40-person
'cause
game of
Dark-
werewolf. It's ridiculous.
Dark Arts thing, right?
Oh,
And
yeah, maybe
do
you're
you know
right.
how to join a team
Fudge.
for how
You lose the
I would
stuffing?
go about joining our
Okay.
team?
So, Extra Life, you need to go to the Extra Life website, and there is a link down below there where you can see our Extra Life page. Click onto that, and you'll need to create an Extra Life account. And then there's a
You okay?
I'm I'm good.
There's a join team button that you can click on.
It is a Saturday. It's basically we start it at like noon on Saturday, and we stay until noon the next day. So we're here all day. We'll be playing games on stream up here. We'll be streaming.
Wait,
the
John,
entire
until
25
she's done
hours.
talking, and then we can talk about what's going on.
At some point in the middle of the night, Andy will make waffles.
Waffles.
At some point, probably around midnight, 1 a.m., whenever magic, like the Saturday night, like folks clear out, we will rearrange the store downstairs for the biggest game of werewolf you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then we'll play werewolf, and Cookie will be a werewolf because
Cookie's always a werewolf.
And we'll basically be playing games up here as much as we possibly can. So whether you can join us in person or join us
In the chat?
either way would be awesome. But yeah, we'll be doing that. And if you want to help Team Battleground raise some money for Extra Life, we would welcome that.
Yeah, last year we passed
super cool.
the $2,000 mark barely.
Oh, yeah.
I doubled our goal for this year.
Are you serious?
I mean, look at the icon
We got an
there.
account and a page.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, John. So what happened?
exciting.
I
You
got
drew.
some bad dice.
You
Yeah.
drew 4 or 3 black dice.
Yeah.
You had to roll all of them.
Yeah.
You got 2 4s.
Yeah.
So what happens with the heartless
Everyone
when you?
who has 4 or more stuffing loses 1 stuffing.
I have more than 4 stuffing.
So do I.
Derek, do you have more than 4 stuffing?
I do.
You lose 1 stuffing.
So
And
we
then-
all dive to
That's
our
really
stomachs to
exciting.
avoid a low-hanging thing, and we all lose 1 stuffing.
Now I'm attempting a ranged attack.
Hang out with us.
You have 1
using
purple
my-
and 1 green.
No, my ability
I'll
of
be building
outsmart
Lego.
lets me trade in a heart to use a yellow
Oh, you're using a yellow as a green.
as an additional attack.
Andy,
Yes, love.
are we on target
6.
ish for me to build the Lego thing that
Yes.
The enemy is.
I've got a
slain.
really big Lego set in mind.
So you got rid of the last
It's gonna be
crawly.
did.
nonsense. I don't know how
All
I'm
right.
going to get it home.
Now,
How's this?
end of your turn.
Yes.
There is a surge.
Yes.
What happens? Is there special surge rules?
Let me see. Dark Heart roll. It only matters apparently if we have matching dice. So if we have 3 matching dice, we are in trouble.
So the Dark Heart does not move.
He doesn't move
He just stands there.
menacingly.
So all of these go back in the bag then.
I believe so.
And nobody was knocked out, so we don't have to do a sleep check.
Good.
Okay. And the turn passes to Derek.
Derek, run up to that thing and kill it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Sounds good, bro. You just need some green and some red.
There's no movement restrictions.
You need green to move between the carts. That's very much.
Yeah.
it.
Give me a green. Give me a green.
No
All
green.
right, hang on.
You got
Once per turn, there's no dice out,
it? No. They got
Yeah.
sent back as the surge.
and I used my red. Okay.
You get a stuffing though for that white die.
Yep, you got a stuffing. We got 1 black die, which means there's going to be a surge this turn. Oh, we've rolled that.
Yeah.
4.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Thank God. If we had those other dice out, that'd be a problem. And he can't do anything, so.
Yeah, because you can't. There's nothing to attack,
Yeah, you
and you
can't.
can't get off that cart. Do you want to pass any dice to anyone?
You could just encourage everybody.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
can
pretty
encourage
good
people with
ability.
the
Yeah,
dice you've
let's
got.
just do that.
Yeah, I'll take a red, I guess.
You
You're
get,
good with the yellow, right?
I'm going with yellow.
So you get a blue, man.
I've got a yellow already, so I might as well hold on to that.
Alright, cool.
All right.
Back in the bag.
All right.
That goes in the bag, and these stay out.
No, everything goes back in the bag.
Okay.
Because if we're reading the surge rules correctly, there's a surge every turn now.
Essentially, unless somebody doesn't draw a black die.
Yeah, okay. I need 5 dice.
Oh,
Darn it.
alright.
Well, all right.
Stuffing.
I get a stuffing.
Roll that 1 die.
I'm gonna. Am I still?
You're
Yeah,
still
I'm
in
still
between.
stuck, so I can't
A man's
move.
the only one who can move.
There's gonna be a surge.
But you have your jumping ability.
Is there any point
I
in
do.
rolling?
I do. I have a leap,
Not really.
but also my bow, my range can hit that.
Yeah, if you can do 8 damage in 1 go, you're good.
Well, I'm gonna do the special
So we'll see what I
search
draw
for
for
the
dice.
train,
Okay.
which is a 3 and up.
It rolled into the
It rolled
bag.
into the bag.
Oh no.
That. Sorry, guys. That was weird.
6.
6. So it's I just get the top card of the search deck.
Yeah.
I found shiny buttons.
Nice.
When searching or performing a yellow skill test, add 2 yellow dice,
That's pretty good.
or add 2 to yellow die results.
Okay. What are the buttons? You can usually cash them in between rounds to like buy cards and whatnot. That's normally how they're supposed to do.
Can I just give that to Flops?
Sure.
Here, Flops, have some shiny buttons.
Buttons. I love buttons.
Why not?
Oh, Pi, you've been surpassed in the bits.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and everything goes back into the bag.
Yep.
And it's Amanda's turn.
Wait, white die. All right, Amanda.
Derek, this sort of makes your talent not terribly useful, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That we're putting everything back in the bag every turn.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how we're supposed to do stuff, but I feel like that's how searches work.
Ugh.
Yeah,
You got
it's fine.
purple. Okay.
Well, I got nothing to like
So roll the 2 black dice.
use my archery set, which is annoying.
You just want to not roll the same die.
Okay.
Okay, so you got a 6 and a 1.
Back in the bag.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I can use this actually as
move.
I can use that as an attack.
That is true.
Oh, but you'd have to be within range. What's your range?
6.
Ooh.
Where are you?
She's
Here.
flops. Flops, bro. Flops.
Wow. Yeah, he's totally within range.
Shoot it.
Right in the face.
Well, the only thing is you need 8 damage and you have 1 die.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can't do partial damage to it.
No.
All in one go. You could go back over here and search the other thing. Maybe we
Yeah.
find something cool.
I think I'll do that.
Okay.
Alright, so roll
So.
move. Bam.
So-
And trade in a die.
Yeah. Do
Alright.
the other special search.
Boom.
Oomph! Get off of my face! A muffled voice cried out beneath you. You
Derek
jerked your
starts
foot back.
encouraging the rest of us.
You jerked your foot back in fear and toppled over, discovering you'd stepped on the face of a rocking horse half buried in the junk.
Oh no!
Bless my buttons, you exclaimed. I am terribly sorry to have trod on your face like that. Don't give it a second thought, said the rocking horse. I'm rather hidden, aren't I? Come, you said, waving the others over. Let's dig this poor fellow out. I wouldn't bother, the rocking horse replied with a defeated sigh. I'm missing one of my rockers.
so
It's the
messed
reason my little girl forgot about me. Place a scared status card on your stuffy.
Making me really
Oh,
sad.
So,
No. Oh yeah. See, Pi doesn't like to take second place here.
status cards here.
If you have an item with the fix or dig keyword,
I do
you
not.
can help this this toy.
You are now scared.
So what's scared do, Amanda?
I have to discard my stored die. And I can't store dice.
Pause
Remove the
household
status
study.
if the stuffy becomes courageous. Otherwise, remove the status by passing a blue skill test, difficulty 4, or by an adjacent stuffy's passing a blue skill test, difficulty 2.
You have a blue
I
die.
have a blue die.
Give it a
So let's see if you get a 4.
I
2.
do not.
Oh well.
try. Okay.
So,
Back in the bag.
back in the bag it goes,
And that
I
goes
lose
back in
my
the bag.
banked die. And I don't have a dig
Tool. Oh well.
tool, so, and I'm scared right
Will
now.
that shovel have done it? I don't know.
Might have.
Maybe.
I'll bet the shovel had dig.
Bip, 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 bip.
John.
Oh my
Yay!
god!
You joined Team Battleground.
Yay! Team Battleground.
Thank you, Insidious Pie.
Alright.
I'm really, really, really excited about that.
I'm considering this really dumb move.
She is.
So first off,
adorable.
I have
And
the pencil
awesome.
weapon. So old number 2's ability is it adds pluses, but it also has a secondary ability.
Yep.
Yes.
A once per game thing. I
Okay.
can pick any space on the board and attack it.
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's basically a, like, javelin sort of throw is sort of what I gathered from reading that.
Yeah. So
And you've got 2 purple,
I got 2 purple. But I don't have
and
a
you
hard
need to
barrel.
roll an 8.
I need to roll an 8.
Average for 2 dice would be 7.
7.
Can you roll above average,
I
John?
have no idea.
You've been on fire.
It's a once per game. Do
I'm
it.
willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. Once per game.
Chat believes in you.
Oh.
Man.
Yep.
Steven.
7!
Steve getting in there with 100 beds.
I needed 8. I rolled a
So
7.
close.
Foiled by a 1.
Darn it.
I can't help.
Curse you and your law of averages.
Oh, well. Derek.
Oh, hold on. Oh, and I don't have a heart. If I had a heart, I would have used that yellow die. I'm throwing these out.
Okay.
There it go.
I need green.
You need green.
Here, these. Oh, don't
No,
don't go back.
yet.
They
Don't
don't go
go
back
back
because there's no surge.
Green.
2,
Yay!
3, 4.
Well,
Come on.
alright. Stuffy, you've technically got 2 green. And
Derek.
this is
Wait.
just
Wait.
gone. Oh, yeah.
What's your special ability?
I can swap one
Yeah,
for this
I mean,
one that's
I
out
do
there.
our-
Can you swap a dark die?
I
Yeah.
think it goes out
Once
before
per
the-
turn. When
Well,
taking
maybe,
a
yes.
turn with the door, you may swap one.
Oh,
of
it's
your
when
attribute
taking a
dice.
turn. So it's after.
Oh, Lobster Revenge
'Cause you
comes
place
in with
threat
101.
first. Oh man, there's a bit war going
Came
on.
from behind.
Bit war.
Go, Theodora.
All right, Derek.
I
These
knew
are your
that
dice.
would be
I like
a
it.
reference
That was
would
actually
make you
like
happy.
very close to the right time and everything.
So you got a stuffing.
I've seen.
Yep.
I have watched that scene
Yeah.
specifically many times.
It's like he's missing a word, right?
It
He says
came from behind.
Yeah, it's weird.
Alright.
All right, so I got to move, right?
Yep.
And
What are you trying to do?
I want to get there and smash this
2,
dude.
3,
So
4,
you
5,
could-
6.
You could roll the purple
As a
as
green.
part of your move,
Oh, yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that.
and then you have a banked red,
And
so
I
you can
double
roll 2
those.
reds.
And
Yeah.
get my +2 there. It'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, let's.
All right.
Wow, 11.
Yeah.
Your scissors go off, don't they?
Oh yeah, you lose
Oh,
a stuffing
that's
for
all right.
running with scissors.
It's all right. I ran with the scissors.
Okay. Now, you have +2 and 2 red dice.
Yep.
So roll those 2 red dice. You
right.
need to get
This is where you
8.
shine, sir. This is your
You
shine.
cannot roll below
The 6.
a 6. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, that was close. You did it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No.
It's
got
4
6
plus
total.
2 plus 2.
4 plus, where's the
Oh.
4?
Where's
It's
Four.
plus 2 for each
When
red.
performing a
Oh,
minute,
for
I got
each
two
red.
red die results. You're right.
Alright, yeah.
You rolled 8.
This is where Derek rolls
You
ones.
slammed it.
Close.
He didn't. He rolled 2.
I rolled
You
2.
rolled 2s, but it was enough.
So you have slain
Thank you.
the beast.
Thank you for the 5 bits, and
And thank you for the 100 bits.
Yeah. So, because it's been slain, go to which one?
I am slain.
Oh, is it Polonius now?
Yeah.
Uncoupled
Is it
the train.
Polonius?
Nope,
that
it's
has
not
the I am
uncoupled.
slain?
Catch
Yes.
it. The dark hearts blanket. Go to 11-3.
Okay, 11-3. You leap over the gap between the cars, weapon at the ready. What
Which
does
is pretty much
Crepitus?
exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Crepitus want with the blanket? Oh, that's me, Lumpy. Lumpy demanded. But the dark-hearted minion only snarled in anger, the blanket still clutched in its vile claws. The Stuffies pressed the attack, and now surrounded, the monster tried to make its escape by diving off the moving train. But just as the minion leapt, you reached out and grabbed the blanket. The monster vanished off the side of the train. Retrieve the red blanket item card from the path item card from the discovery stack. Equip the blanket to a Stuffy. Add the patch item card to the item deck. Then shuffle the deck and go to 11-4.
Okay.
No, we're still on this page.
Oh. Sorry, what was it before? I'm sorry.
I was just
So
really happy
add the
that
patch item card to the
Derek
item
was
deck,
the
then
one
shuffle the deck.
who killed the dark
So-
heart thing.
I already
and
got the, I got the
sword
blanket.
The
just
patch.
goes
The patch.
right through that heart hole
Right.
perfectly, Andy.
Shuffle that into the item deck. Yeah, I see that. Shall we show it off on Zoom cam?
Maybe this. All right, and now we go to 11-4.
Yeah, I'll read 11-4 after I show off how Derek has impaled this figure.
Now, watch this, Stephen. This is what happens.
So,
Stand against Theodora's might.
stab. So yeah, he stabbed it right through its hole in its heart there. So it's gone.
Yeah.
You were here, Derek?
Yes. Now 11-4.
11-4. Shuddering like
Zoom can,
like some coughing,
cannot do
choking
that.
beast.
It is not capable. It cannot do the, you know.
Yeah.
The train came to a halt outside a
Hey,
small,
there's no blood.
ramshackle settlement. Well, this place is nice, Flop suggested. A large sign near the tracks said Squalor. It would seem they named this place honestly, Theodora replied.
Yeah, there's
I'm totally buying a summer home here, Flops continued.
I'm totally buying a summer home here. I love it. This is great. I love living in squalor.
Shush, urged Stitch. Let's try to find some help.
The cake is
Politely.
regal.
Go to page 15, section 15.1.
Oh, so we're skipping 13.
So, thank you
Scavenger
to
hunt.
Insidious Pie just hopping right over the other
300
two
bits?
leaders to give us 3
Wow.
Okay,
bits.
115. A lot of
Okay,
info here.
return all
Oh, you
dice
still have
except
top
those
3
stored
Lobster Revenge, so
to the dice bag.
Thank you for the one rip bit.
Reshuffle the minion
I'm gonna
deck.
make you a crown.
The bookkeeper passes the bookmark, which we're not really doing. Thank you.
I'm like invincible with this cape, by the way.
What is the cape? What
Like,
does it
with
do?
the scissors, I'm plus, like, per red die, I'm +4 now.
Yeah.
Red blanket is pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, assuming do I get
They
it?
do stack. They do stack because they're different spaces.
Yeah.
And does anybody else need it?
Wow.
No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Steve Benjamin coming in with 179 to usurp the position of bit leader.
All right, here we go.
The town of Squalor was a chaotic maze of ramshackle buildings and random alleyways. Dominating the view was the terrible black fortress that loomed far in the distance. Chimneys and smokestacks lining its towers, walls, and buttresses. It was not an unhappy place per se, but the toys, dolls, and stuffies that lived there walked around as if on the defensive, and all seemed to be keeping them to themselves. The stuffies spent some time around a dilapidated train yard, watching the citizens of Squalor come and go. Lumpy noticed that many of the residents were gathering around a cluttered marketplace. Reveal a sleep card. Still sleeping. She's
Thank
fine.
goodness.
Each player places their stuffy figure on or adjacent to the market.
Another 100. With
Place
some
talkie
salt.
tokens out. Put the wall barrier environment card into play.
Wall barrier environment card?
Yep, that's that.
Okay.
Or no,
And
I guess you're right, there's
100
a-
from Insidious Pie.
should be
It must be in the story deck. Where's story 1? Story 1.
We are
Oh, no, no.
getting-
It should be here, I think.
Andy, we have a full
Wall
bit
barrier.
war going on behind you, by the way.
Walls and other borders are indicated by white lines. So
Yes.
these solid white lines and walls.
Okay.
You cannot move through these areas. Spaces on either side of the barrier are not considered
Family-friendly
adjacent.
stream.
Some maps, these are like barriers. Once the door has opened, remove the door token. So we're opening doors and going inside.
Okay. So there is area 1 here.
Yep.
There's a button over here, which is a store, I think.
Yep, you can buy stuff.
15.2? I don't see where anything says to do anything at 15.2.
It's down here. Choose one of the following. If you
No,
ask-
that's a pavilion.
okay.
Put the walls barrier card into
Really
play.
appreciate that
All right.
salt.
Explore I1 symbol. If Knuckles is in play, see the Okay. So we need to
Surge
explore
reveal a sleep card.
here. Okay.
If you spot a
one, these
this
are
is
like-
one, which is there,
Yeah.
which
so
is
we
a
need to
search.
there. So it's starting with you, Andy.
Okay. So I'm going to draw some cards and do some stuff.
Cool.
Or draw some dice, I'm sorry. All right, so I've got 2 threat coming out. I've got a purple, I've got a yellow, and I've got a blue.
All right. Right.
There's nothing particular blue going on here. Yellow I need to
haven't been
search
drawing
there.
the green dice at all.
Not really.
Yeah, that is.
There's
You're
5
right.
of them.
I'm gonna roll these 2 to move.
Okay.
Or actually, does anybody want a purple? Amanda.
I can't carry dice.
Oh, you're right. You're scared. I'm sorry.
Give me a...
Oh wait, there's a blue check I can do for you, right?
I'm empty.
Yeah.
Give it
You
to
have
this
to
man.
beat a 2.
He's empty.
I'm gonna roll a blue to see if I can make her no longer scared.
Okay. 3.
3. You are no
There.
longer scared.
Thank goodness.
There. There.
Okay.
So I'll give you this purple,
Give me the
or
Give.
I think you probably have met Steve and Pi. I think you have. I mean, it's likely that
you've both
met
been
because you're
to
both-
Saga or Norton.
You're both Norton folks, so yeah.
I'm gonna roll the purple to move.
Okay.
I get a 3 if you would move me to that spot, the search.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll, or I'm gonna give the yellow.
Okay.
Thanks, Amanda.
Theodora.
I won. Sorry.
Okay.
You spot a striped pavilion. A nearby sign declares,
I'll send
Lazy,
some crowns.
Lazy Lamunda, the most accurate fortune teller. If you have a button or an item card you'd like to trade for a reading, discard it and go to
Thank you.
15-2. What's happening?
We have a sub.
Oh, thank you so much for the sub.
Thank you, Pi. That means you have the Battleground Shield emote.
Yeah, let's put up some shields.
Oh, nuts.
Shield
Thank you
time.
so much.
Uh-oh. Andy.
I mean, she did just sub, so
Oh, come
that's
on.
an escalation right there. That just right up there.
That ain't good.
Thank you so much, Pi, for the subscription.
We appreciate it.
All right, so I am going to pay a button
Okay.
to get a fortune told.
Okay.
So this is
You know, Andy,
15-2.
Andy.
Yes,
Anyone
Bad days
are just days that are bad.
bad.
The pavilion was dimly lit inside. A small, round table stood in the center, and on it sat a polished black orb. Ludmilla observed your entry.
Oh my! She exclaimed as you drew closer to her. You are a long way from home, are you not? Very well. Sit down, trespassers, and let old Ludmilla tell you what you should.
Ludmilla.
Yes, what you need to know. Choose one of the following. Ask Ludmilla about finding the baby blanket, or if you have the red blanket, but just need to find out how to get back home, go to 15-4.
Where the heck?
Ludmilla, you find us in desperate need, you begged. We must return the blanket to our child. How do we escape this strange land? Ah, yes, the old puppet said. The exit you seek dwells within the bramble bum. You shall find it lurking at a strange little house. And with that, you leave Ludmilla's pavilion, gain 1 heart, and go to section 15-5.
Okay. Simple.
There was a commotion in the market, and several townfolk pointed in the party's direction. It would seem they might have stood out a little much. The doors to shanties flew open, and overlarge stuffies emerged, accompanied by 2 crawlies. I want that blanket, the big one bellowed. You give it to Knuckle, and maybe I don't tear your arms off. Retrieve the Knuckle boss. John?
Knuckle Boss. He is here.
The sub is
Knuckle.
pretty choice.
Where
Thank you
are
for
the boss
33
cards?
bits, Lobster Revenge.
he's right
And
here.
yes, Steve was. Yeah,
Knuckle
Derek's not losing, so. And yes, Steve was one of the 2 players who Voltroned their mechs together during the big arena battle in the Camelot Trigger game.
2
It
crawlies.
was awesome.
Crawlies are over here.
Super cool.
But I need the cards.
By the way, Derek, Camelot Trigger, amazing setting for Fate.
Camelot Trigger.
If you're going to play the Fate core system,
Yep.
the Camelot Trigger setting is super fun.
What is that from?
It's in one of their books of like settings and stuff, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
basically like it's the Knights of the Round Table, but in space with mechs.
Nice. All right, that's cool.
It's super fun. It was a really
All right.
good setting.
God.
Knuckle boss. Where does it say on the boss card, John, how much stuffing he gets?
Equal to the number of players. So, you
So he
cannot
gets 4
one-shot
stuffing.
bosses.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I've
Take
told
them
you
all
this.
out.
22 bits from Lobster Revenge. Thank you.
Is anyone good at lacing
Okay,
thread?
yes. That's
John's
the bit
broken the bag.
No, it
No,
was
you
like
know what?
that,
They
yeah.
weren't tied. They
Yeah.
They weren't like the cording is that slick satin cording.
I have a pin downstairs. We can try.
Yeah,
to
we'll figure it
thread it later.
We're not going to do the special rules.
Oh, Steve, I'm 100%
So, we have to
in
fight the
on
boss. Does he spawn here?
I'm assuming so. It doesn't say.
that. Like, I would love to
crowds.
like take a look at that or plan it or watch people playing it. That sounds awesome.
Amanda, did
All right.
did you hear what
We
my
do
son
not get a
said when he was
surge.
sleepwalking? Yep.
Oh,
Potter stuff
yeah,
rose.
Caden
Hear that?
sleepwalking.
Yes.
How weird is that?
So these
All
go back in
right.
the bag?
Very
No,
first.
they stay here.
That should definitely
Nothing
be
is going in the bag.
Alright.
So
It's Amanda's turn.
when we finish
Amanda.
playing, I will tell you about Trash Mountain, which I am the queen of. Everyone is royalty on
So
Trash
now,
Mountain.
what is the objective, Andy?
I believe it's just to defeat the boss, Knuckle.
1, 2.
Where did you leave off at?
Setup here. And we're not doing the special rules, so it just goes to the setup.
Or whatever.
5. Well, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get any black dice,
Rule.
which I mean I would think it would be. I didn't get any black dice, but I also didn't get any green dice, so I can't do my ranged attack. I mean I have a purple, so I could. So I
Yeah,
could
you
try
could
and
use the
shoot-
red to move.
Yeah, I'm gonna use.
Well,
I
did you
get a
get your white?
stuffing.
Yep, get a stuffing. You could bank your blues so that you can't get punched in the face again.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and
Use the red to move around the corner and
yeah, I'm
shoot.
gonna use a red to move and then shoot, and I'll pass a red to someone. Probably
3.
Theodora there.
So
Thanks, Steve.
1, 2, 3.
You can't see them yet.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the barriers.
So use your other red to move another space.
Yeah, so I don't have one to pass. Yeah, all your
Amanda-
dicey ones.
Amanda, alternatively,
Yeah.
you could go talk to that person over there using the purple as a yellow.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
So you'll go.
Yeah.
You need to
So
roll,
No, you just pass the purple.
so you read it.
Sure.
and I'll give that to Derek.
Thank you.
Gang of goons. Your path was blocked by a large, mean-looking stuffed rhino and his gang of ne'er-do-wells. Toll, spat the leader, holding out a demanding paw. Choice. Do you give one item or refuse?
Can't I just give them a button?
That's an item. You gotta be an item.
I mean, she's got the shiny buttons.
Yeah, I have the shiny.
What do the
buttons.
shiny buttons do?
When searching or performing a yellow skill test, add 2 to yellow die results.
Kind of like that.
So do I, but we're on 15, and I think that's the end of this chapter.
Possibly, yeah.
And it's like,
So you could just-
It's almost 10 o'clock, so we probably should be finishing.
So you're
up
not gonna give it up, or-
sometime soon? No, I am going to give it up because
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to end up needing a yellow
right.
roll. So
All right.
I'll hand them
Give
my
up.
shiny buttons.
All right.
Here, guys.
If you
have
give
some
up an
shiny
item,
buttons.
they let you pass, chuckling and admiring their plunder.
Yeah, super useful, guys. Go have some yellow buttons.
So did that use up all your dice? Yeah, because you banked the blue.
I gave a red to Derek so that he can do.
So John's move.
You killed him.
I almost
That was easy.
I thought you liked
Two
him.
black.
Uh-oh. We're getting a
like
surge
you.
after this.
Alright. I got yellow. And I got blue, and I got that. So, let's see what I can do. I have 4 dice essentially. I'm
You have a
going
yellow. What do you have?
to- Yellow, purple, green, and blue. So what
And
I'm
you've
going
got
to
a ranged weapon.
do- I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the yellow to move actually.
Okay.
And I'm
1.
going to use my ability to re-roll it. 2. That's just terrible.
Move towards me.
2.
Nope, you can't go
Can't be in
that
the
way.
same spot.
Yeah. So you can go towards, that way.
I'll roll another blue to move. That's
Cocked.
Oh,
John.
come on! No luck tonight. No luck.
You were doing really well with rolling earlier.
I know.
Oh, you know what? It's right underneath my feet.
Sorry. And there's the 6.
There you- got it.
Got it. Alright. 5.
5. Okay. Where are you moving to?
Boom.
There?
Or rather, what is my range? 3. Boom.
Okay. And then you're going to shoot.
Shoot! It kills it.
Okay. So that's one crawly gone.
We're probably gone, and now we have this activated.
One midnight gone.
Yeah, so surge time. Starting at the top. Knuckle.
So roll that one die. 2.
2 is hit and run. Move 5 and do 5 damage to somebody who's at 1 range. Zoop.
I do have a whole lot of stuffing at this point.
And you've got defense.
And I've got defense.
Okay.
So are you going to take the hit?
So I'll take the hit.
All right.
roll the
I
defense.
also... Oh, no, never mind.
So roll your blue.
Yep.
5.
How much does that defend?
That's all of it.
So you keep the
You
blue die.
keep the blue die. You take no damage.
Sweet.
All right,
4.
this crawly.
2.
2 is rush. Move 6 and do 3 damage. So it's going to go towards me.
Cool.
Pop, pop, pop. I take 3 damage,
You can use the red.
You can use the red tip.
which reduces it to 2 damage. Yeah. Okay. I'll use my heart and take 2 damage instead of 3.
Okay. Dice go back in the bag.
All the dice go back in the bag, and it's Derek's turn.
Derek, what you gonna do?
Nah. I don't know why that black was like that. That was strange.
It's the one I just rolled.
Okay.
Oh, and he's dead.
Oh, he's not dead.
Oh, okay.
That
No,
red-
no,
no, he's
that guy's dead.
All right.
Slay him.
Alright, 1, 2,
Oh, it's health.
3, 4,
Hey,
green.
and 5.
Okay.
Why are you guys excited? He doesn't get to use a green.
Well, I'm just excited to know that the green are
All
actually...
right, Derek, you gained some stuffing.
Yep.
There you go.
Yes, thank you.
For some reason, we keep refilling the bag before Derek's
It's
turn.
awful. Yeah, it totally like kills me.
All right.
So
Although
move-
technically, you could get another
I would move
stuffing
with
by
that green
exchanging
one.
one of these dice for the stuffing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that works.
Fine.
So this guy's got to go, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the
yeah.
main boss.
So we go to there.
He's got a defense of 8.
Okay.
So,
So neither of these are of any use to me at all, right?
Yeah.
Can they go to anybody or no?
yes.
I don't really need one. John, what do you need?
I
A
have
blue?
nothing on my thing.
Yellow?
Give him a blue.
Give me a blue. Blue's great.
Okay.
All right, roll your
Use
5.
that
All right.
5.
So I'm
Now
actually
roll
gonna
your
be
red.
plus 4.
Yes.
You need an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an 8. So he loses 1 stuffing.
Okay.
You cannot one-shot bosses. That's not it.
Yeah, he takes 4 hits. Yep. And you're just going to give that up.
Jerk.
All right,
All right.
my go. We got
These
this.
now do stay out.
Yeah, they're just in the discard. And that's in the discard too. Four, 5. Okay then. Well, I'll gain a stuffing. Get back one of those 2 I just lost.
Good, good.
I could go shopping at a button shop. I could go
probably
talk to
start
that guy.
killing the thing.
No, I'll just kill the thing.
Kill the thing.
All right, it's got a defense of 5. I'm gonna roll 1 red.
You kill it.
Yeah.
You get a button.
So much for that crawly.
And now, he will activate
Well, wait.
Button. No, no.
Oh, I do get a
the
button.
button.
Thank you. Now I'm going to roll a blue to move.
Okay. 2.
2. 1, 2. Or no, I'm sorry, diagonal. 1, 2.
Okay.
And then I'll roll a pink to move.
Sure. 1.
Hodge. Okay.
You still have a red on your card.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Moving again, 6. I wish I'd rolled that 6 a little earlier. And then I'm going to punch him in the back of the head
With your mallet.
with my mallet. No, I can't roll an 8.
yeah,
There's no
save
way
it,
I can get
save
an
it,
8.
save it. Okay. He activates.
He activates.
So roll this thing. 2.
2 is hit and run. Move 5 and do 5 damage to
Getting
somebody.
exciting now.
John, I think he's going to punch you.
Okay.
Roll your blue die.
3.
So you take 2.
I lose the die.
Yeah.
And that's all.
And then everything goes back in the bag, and it moves to Amanda.
All right, Amanda.
Hi.
Oh,
Is it my turn?
yes.
It is your turn.
Excellent.
We're all focusing the boss now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Yeah,
the
we just
smart
need to
thing
take this
do.
fellow down.
Can everybody affect him, or is there anybody that can't affect him at all?
Nobody cannot.
You just need
I just need more red.
more reds. Yeah.
1 red is not going to do the trick. You're the one who can really
Alright,
wail
that's
on him.
Useless.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can do 1 ranged attack with the purple.
Purple, but I can't get 8
They can't get 8.
All right,
because
so
my bow doesn't add to the purple.
yeah, so I guess just search. There's a search of 8. So if you roll
get
an
an
8 or higher on 2 yellow,
Yeah, you can get
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I could roll that and the purple. And
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
yeah, okay. So
Have a card.
what'd you get?
I got a play clay lid. When defending, add 1 to blue die results. When defending against a ranged attack, add 2 to blue die results instead of 1.
Nice.
And yeah, it's basically like a shield.
Okay.
So yeah. Does anyone want some defense?
Please.
Here,
okay.
you can have one. Derek, you want one?
Sure.
Here, have that.
All right, and those just go
You
in the
guys can
discard.
do it.
In the discard.
Yeah.
John.
Here we go.
I believe in you.
3, 4, 5. Nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I got stuffing.
Maybe give that red to Derek.
Derek, have a red.
The blue goes in the discard.
What do I do?
Do something that rolls that purple and puts it in the discard so that Derek can pull it on his turn.
Yeah, let's search. Okay.
What did you get?
Ooh, a yo-yo. Bonus. When performing a ranged attack or defending, add 1 green die to the result. Well, I prefer my number 2.
Wait, didn't your number 2 go away? Did you throw it away?
It's not gone from.
It doesn't go away. You can
Just
only
only use that effect.
get that ability.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to turn this to the deck.
Okay.
Alright.
Put it in the discard here. Derek.
You actually have a pool of dice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Draw 5.
I'll have to pull like 3 reds out of here right now. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's 1.
2.
1 more.
1 more red.
Okay, so once per turn you can exchange one of your dice for here.
Yep.
So this goes over here automatically.
Yeah.
Then you can exchange something for a purple.
I definitely don't need to move. So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to go like that.
Yeah.
And then roll the green to move. Or you don't need to move because we're all standing right next to him.
I would roll 1 at a time and try to hit them 3 times.
Yeah, that seems to be
Because you get 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
could
get a
you
plus
could get
4,
this guy
so.
this turn.
could happen.
All right, first one.
So I need to roll a 4.
4 or higher. That's a 4.
Plus 1.
1 damage.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
4.
Damage.
Smash, and I can roll these.
Roll
two
these 2
purples.
2
together.
purples.
Oh, that was awesome.
4.
No,
It's
but-
no bonus.
That 6 was up there.
Oh.
But hey, that we.
Yeah,
we
you
got
knocked him down twice.
Yeah, and
way
this is
down.
like filled with reds now.
But it's all going back in the
Oh, it
bag
does?
because surge is happening.
See what he does. 4.
4. Pay the bully.
What does he say?
So if a Stuffy loses stuffing from this attack, Knuckles steals a random equipment item from that Stuffy. If Knuckle is defeated before escaping, re-equip the stolen items.
Oh no.
I didn't know escaping was an option. How does he escape?
Possibly if one of us gets knocked out, something happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everything goes back in the bag. Or no, first he's going to
No
attack.
damage or anything?
What's the
No,
attack?
he's going to do a 5 damage
one
attack
person.
to one person.
Who's gonna do
John or Amanda? Amanda,
I
you have the
have-
pot lid.
I have a pot lid, I have a blue die, and I have a lot of stuffing.
All right, so
Good.
Fap, he's punching you for 5.
You did end up being the tank.
I did, yeah.
5.
5
You're good.
plus 1, so 6.
So you take no
I'm all
damage,
set.
so he does not steal a random item.
Nope.
All these go back in the bag, and now it is my turn.
This guy's toast.
Draw red.
He has a red die.
He has one.
So-
He needs at least one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then it's tough. Well, there's a red.
There's one. And you got a stuffing.
Okay,
And all my green dice.
Have a stuffing.
What's your
stuffing.
His is blues.
What's their?
Yeah, I may re-roll a blue die.
Oh, okay.
Must keep my second roll. So these are, well, I'll roll a search
Did you
is
just get one of
8. No, I can't roll an 8.
Oh,
Yeah, I got
same
a stuffing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
those dice
punch
down,
him with
bro.
these 2 reds. I need to roll an 8.
Hey, Andy, you want to hand me a green when you're
Sure.
done?
Yeah, you got him. Because you have +1 from the mallet.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
You're
you
right.
get +2 because you get it for each red.
Yeah.
Right?
Ba-bam!
Nice.
So, where did we go?
Okay.
Knuckle was defeated.
No, that's the greedy knuckle. We're not doing that.
2 crawlers.
This is 15-6 as if you fail.
Oh, 15-6. Oh, yeah, if you fail.
Yeah. So, if you've already visited Marietta,
No. If walking far has been to do.
We visited Ludmilla.
Hold up. Let me check. Knuckle. Draw 2 crawlers. Encounter. Special rules. Greedy knuckle.
we're not playing with the special rules.
Has escaped.
What's that last thing right there? 15-7. What is that saying? The last line.
Was defeated. If Knuckles was defeated, go to 15-7. So
15-7. Okay.
If you have already
Visited Marietta in the Bramblebum Forest,
No.
go to section 15-8. If you've not visited Marietta, go to
15-9.
15-9.
59.
With the blanket in their possession, they headed out to Bramblebum in search of Marietta. 13-1.
So we go back.
There's a token on that page.
Oh. Thank you. 15-1.
Do we want to just call it?
Yeah.
Because it is really late.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's after 10 now. We beat a boss.
We did beat a boss.
And we have some stuff we wanted to talk about
Yeah.
in the second half. So I think we
This
were
is
going to beat
really
this.
fun.
It's cute. It's fun. They actually have online resources that explain how each of the events in this girl's life are things that real children would have to go through.
Yep.
Like the big girl bed. One
Yeah.
of the things is going to the dentist.
Yeah.
So all the nightmares have to do with stuff that that kids actually have to deal with.
And there are QR codes in the book that I'm sure you can scan to get more information about stuff.
Yeah. So final results on this game before we move on to other last things for tonight. And Derek, I know you have to get downstairs because there's a major event going on in
Yes,
just a few
coming
minutes.
up.
2 hours.
Reward. I ended up being a tank.
You did. You
Did
got
not
knocked out first,
Expect
but
that.
but ended up being unstoppable once you had your pot lid.
Yeah, the pot lid is, and I kept gaining stuffing after that. I was given stuffing, and then I just kept gaining more.
I never upgraded my weapon, so my meat mallet was not super effective, although I did get the final killing blow on the boss.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Derek, with the blanket and the
That was
scissors,
pretty brutal.
Pretty
Was
good
just-
combo.
yeah, you almost beat the boss single-handedly.
yeah, one
that.
more on that last roll, and that would have been curtains.
Kudos.
Yeah.
Curtains for Knuckles.
Obviously, this game has a lot of minis,
Yep.
and I love going through the book.
Yeah, it's
The
so
adventuring
nice.
using the book is so intuitive, and having the map right there,
Yeah.
without having to pause to build the map for
So-
every area you go into.
I wasn't thinking. If I had been thinking, I could have moved closer because I could have used my leap ability because I had 2 hearts.
Oh, you're
And I
right.
didn't use it in that last one. I wasn't thinking about it. So, but yeah, that was really fun.
I love this game.
That was
This,
adorable.
I can see why we keep selling out of it.
Yeah.
Why we cannot keep it on the shelf. This game is
Good,
so
like,
good.
Broad age range too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With.
Oh
You
yeah.
can get, there are veteran rules online too to play it to make it even harder if you want. Okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, we were skipping the things that said special rules,
Right.
which make it harder,
Yeah.
give it more challenge.
I love the idea of large scale game. That's
Yeah.
like we should definitely think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get Beanie Babies for each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
thank you so much to our 3
Bit
top
battlers.
bit battlers.
Yeah, bit bad.
Insidious Pie currently sitting at the top with 470. Steve Benjamin with 380 and Lobster Revenge with 302. And Pie is our newest sub.
Thank you so much for the sub pie.
Very, very exciting.
We are not calling this this stream quite yet
Yeah.
because we have some unboxing to do.
Yes, we do.
So I'm going to
We
pass
do.
things to John.
Hello, everyone.
John, what have you got for us?
So, next month we all know it's Scary Games Month.
Yes, October is going to be Scary Games Month, possibly movie-related scary games. We had talked about that a little bit.
So, one of my favorite cult horror films.
More bits.
Is, thank you for the bits. Is a little movie from Canada called Cube. So, recently, I acquired Room 25 Ultimate, which is I believe it's the newest edition of the game. It's basically like got a few of the
Box interior.
upgrades in it already, which is pretty cool. And this is essentially it's like Cube meets oh god, what's that Schwarzenegger movie where he's a bunch of game show contestants?
The Running Man.
Running Man, essentially mixed together. It is up to 8 players.
Oh, that's
It can be played cooperative, semi-cooperative, or as a competition, which is fairly cool. But essentially, it is a group of
Figures
strangers trapped inside of this ever-evolving maze. And our goal is simple: just escape. Just escape, but you have to deal with all these trap rooms and whatnot. And I'm super excited to look at this.
There's a bigger tier here.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So John lucked into this one during the massive, huge sale last
I
weekend.
managed to get this and the expansion, and I learned there's another expansion coming out this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
I was
Pi,
surprised about that.
what I was saying earlier is Trash Mountain is a thing that I came up with that basically says I love garbage. And John also loves garbage.
I do.
John and I are garbage movie
fairly
aficionados. And I realized when I knew that I could recite a lot of trivia about absolute garbage that I was the queen of Trash Mountain. And I have invited all are welcome on Trash Mountain except bigots.
They live in Bigotry Bay.
Which is on fire. And I invite
at
everyone
that.
I know to join
Oh,
me
hey, let's get that.
on
I'm going to
Trash
switch
Mountain,
cameras.
and to pick a title. Pick a
So,
title.
chat, check it out.
Yeah,
This
look,
comes
I'm
with
gonna
a
hold my cord.
vacuum-formed tray that you can actually fit
Really nice.
bits in.
I always wondered why that box was so big.
I always wondered why the lid was off of it. So that now makes
That
a
would
lot
be
more
why,
sense.
because it's
Yeah.
got this puffy tray.
So a lot of stuff to punch out, including all these rooms.
It's a bunch of room tiles. So yeah, it's essentially like an escape the room before
Can I
escape
have
the
all
room
your
was a
character
thing.
cards?
I passed mine over already. Oh, here's Derek's.
Cards.
So this is our game for next week.
I guess so, yeah.
This is what we'll be playing. And John, I know there's a possibility you might not make it next week.
I'm aiming to. I
Yeah.
should hopefully next week.
Okay.
But, yeah. After that, I can't guarantee. But yeah.
The buttons go, Amanda, in that tiny bag.
Sure.
We didn't point it out while we were playing, I don't think.
But
the
button
buttons
currency
are
is
just
real buttons.
buttons. They're just
legit
little
buttons.
actual buttons,
Buttons.
which I thought was very
Hey,
cute.
look at that. They fit in like this. Ain't that nice? So, there are variable character powers and a bunch of characters to choose from, which is pretty cool.
There should be another baggie, Amanda, for all these.
There's
That's
a
pretty
big
cool.
bag and
Like the
another big
nerd
bag.
can
Okay.
like, hack through things.
So I was just gonna put
It's like a soldier who's
all
good
of
at
these.
speeding
Yeah.
through everything. So yeah.
Are there like
And there's a lot of
sleeves or
replayability.
something for the decks?
And we also
No,
got the
they were all
expansion.
just loose in the box.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this is really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
excited.
great.
So join us next week for Room 25,
Yes.
Escape the Room, and the start of our All Scary Game October.
Yes.
I'll bring out the accoutrement, the
There's
various stuff. I have to get new cobwebs because I think we tore up the old cobwebs when we took them down.
Yeah, there was no saving those. There was no salvaging
I like
those.
these punches. They're pretty solid.
John, do you want to show off the other game that you bought
yes.
during the
There
sale?
is one other game that I have now. I was interested based on just the title. Dojo-kun. So, this game right here is, as it turns out, a worker placement game.
Using cards?
Yes, it's a cool mini or not with no minis.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
So yeah. Oh, shock.
Shocktober, it's coming.
Yes. So, this game is simple. Well, not simple. It's a simple concept. Four schools of four dojos are competing with each other for a major tournament. coming
Spooktober,
up.
sure. Could be Spooktober.
So essentially, you are playing as a sensei, training your students.
That's
And
right,
then
you're training your dojo.
So you're taking them to different areas to basically do worker placement things. And ooh, that looks nice.
In setup, it reminded me a little bit of Ghost Stories.
Yes.
In that each person is a side of the board.
Essentially,
Dice.
you have your four elements: earth, wind, fire, water. And,
Okay.
Yeah, that's on these
These
player
are
boards.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You have access to different characters based on the cards, with different abilities based on whatever their like combos and unique fighting styles are. Custom dice, abound, tokens, and what's interesting is the game can be played. It's a competitive game with a solo variant, which is interesting.
Oh,
The concept being that if you don't have enough players, there's a school called the Void School that fills up the final round of challenges. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty nifty idea, and I decided to jump into it. From what I've heard, the mechanics flow pretty well, from like training to tournament to training to final tournament. So yeah, I've heard pretty good things. Yeah.
yeah. Well, cool. So we'll maybe see it during the Extra Life Marathon.
Extra Life Marathon, preferably. Yeah.
I mean, it says it's a 90-minute game for 1 to 4 players. That sounds extra lifey.
Yeah, that does. So
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I think that's appropriate. This is,
Kung Fu.
man, I love board games. There's so much good stuff. You know Kung Fu?
I know Kung Fu. I want to watch The Matrix again, man.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Too bad they didn't make any sequels.
Yeah, real bummer. Like Highlander.
Yeah.
Andy, we had some spooks.
Woo! Spoopifer!
Please.
Well,
Recently, I want to play this game because it's really scary, and you'll be really, really terrified because there's all this scary stuff in it, and there are ghosts and maybe some ghouls, and it looks really scary because it's dark and there's lots of machinery, and it's very spooky.
So yeah, I'm excited to try these out whenever we're ready.
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah.
Well,
I'm
next
definitely
week,
calling-
Room 25.
Yeah.
We've got some other plans for cool games to play in Spooktober.
I wouldn't mind at some point playing that Ghost Story game again.
Ghost Stories? That'd be
So
So
good.
We could do the expansion.
Does it
should
make
try
it
it.
harder? We barely beat
There's
that
another
game.
lost
We
condition.
barely beat that game.
Hey, you know,
There is
that's why
another
it's
lost
time
condition.
to up the difficulty. We beat
Okay.
it.
However, we then get access to the goddess, which adds another way for us to do things and special items.
This game was super fun, Derek. It was.
What was it called?
Ghost Stories.
Okay.
It's like based on Chinese ghost stories and like mythology and like haunting stories. You know, like there are certain haunting tropes in
Yeah.
U.S. folklore Chinese folklore also has certain tropes that come up.
Big
And,
bandits.
yeah.
Okay. Is it cooperative or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
favorite
4-player
really
cooperative.
hard. It was really difficult.
pretty good.
Oh, these guys go in here.
It was a good time.
All right. So for the future, play more games.
Yeah, exciting.
I feel like I'm ripping that off of somebody.
You are definitely ripping that off of somebody. So, thank you everybody so much for joining us.
Thank you for the sub.
had
Thank you
a
for
ton
all the
of fun.
bits, everybody. Thank you for joining us and watching us play this game. It's so cool. So cute.
Gorgeous.
Adorable.
And I think we're breaking up here. We seem to be losing
Yeah.
internet, which probably means a lot of people are logging on downstairs.
I am hopefully going to be painting.
Oh, yes,
sometime
join us tomorrow.
I'm gonna be,
Amanda
I am,
will be
in
painting
fact,
the
going
figures
down
from
to
Wasteland
find
Warfare.
My Wasteland Warfare figures before I leave for the night so that I can paint them tomorrow morning. I won't be here first thing in the morning. My mom wants to go do some
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
going to be here in the store until like 10 o'clock tomorrow night, so at least.
I'll be here
So we'll be
eventually.
around,
Yeah.
because I want to play in one of the pre-releases.
Yeah.
In the meantime, thank you so much for joining
everybody.
us, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for the sub. Thank you, Lobster of Revenge, for the shield.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys
Time
maybe
is
tomorrow.
See you guys next
Good night, Pie.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.